The dragon princess personally came to him just to have his dragon baby. The vampire queen pinned him down on the bed, indulging in his blood and body. Even the pure and noble goddess of light invited him to explore the mysteries of her divine domain. Three beautiful and powerful women made heartfelt proposals. But Yi Tianming turned his back on them and walked away without hesitation. He was terminally ill. His days were numbered. All he could do was quietly wait for death to come. Until one moment, all humans from Blue Star were suddenly transported into a game world. The cold and fierce female NPC, who was hostile to everyone, changed the moment she saw Yi Tianming. She actually invited him to her room that night. That's when Yi Tianming realized this so-called game world was the same single-player RPG he'd played nonstop for 3 years. Infinite Continent. Back when he was Bedridden, he cleared every part of the game. No one knew Infinite Continent better than Yi Tianming. The game was notoriously difficult. If you rushed out of the newbie village without proper preparation, you'd end up like those poor souls listed in the death announcements, slaughtered by monsters in minutes. Now that he had a second chance at life, Yi Tianming wasn't planning on wasting it. He'd use his in-game knowledge to gear up before leaving the village. But just then, a system prompt appeared. Achievement system activated. Congratulations! You've completed all achievements in the newbie village. Reward: all stats boost plus special item, Maiden's Affection. Could it be that all his game achievements carried over into this new world? After all, he had maxed out favorability with nearly every NPC and boss in the game. And unlike the other players, those characters were powerful beyond measure. With those past bonds, he could not only reconnect with them, but gain their formidable support. Maiden's Affection must have been a secret reward from one of the girls he'd successfully romanced. Without hesitation, he clicked Claim. Instantly, a soft blue and white striped object appeared in his hand. It was a girl's undergarment, freshly washed. A message followed. Its owner is waiting for you at the Adventurers Guild, holding the striped cloth in his palm. A familiar face flashed through his mind. It belonged to Sha Sha, head of the newbie village's Adventurers Guild. She held access to the rarest gear and supplies, making her the most valuable girl in the entire starting zone. No contest. Inside the Adventurers Guild, a few players were trying to use old strategies, asking Sha Sha for free starter kits and items. But to Sha Sha, they were nothing but freeloaders. With a cold glare, she warned them, cause trouble again, and she'd have the guards throw them out. Once they left, Sha Sha frowned, still puzzled. What's going on today? Why are all these strange people showing up? Just then, the guild doors opened once more. I told you already, I'm not giving out anything, so stop bothering me. But when she saw who it was, her breath caught. In the next second, she burst into tears and threw herself into his arms. Darling, you're finally back. System notification. Target girl has found the owner of her heart. Yi Tianming's memories flooded back. Their shared moments, the quiet warmth. Sha Sha wasn't like the powerful ice dragon princess or the mighty vampire queen. She had no terrifying strength or political power, but she was the only one who always welcomed him with a smile, no matter how badly he lost. Now that the wife he once fought for in-game had come to life, Yi Tianming couldn't resist gently caressing her cheek. Sha Sha looked up at him, her eyes full of concern. Where have you been all this time? Yi Tianming gave a soft smile. It's nothing. Let's just say I've become a newbie adventurer all over again. Don't worry, darling, Sha Sha said softly, holding his hand. I still have some savings. Let me get you the best adventure gear I can afford. After equipping the set Sha Sha gave him, Yi Tianming's combat power skyrocketed. It was a massive, epic level boost. He remembered this gear from the game. It cost at least 10,000 copper coins, the equivalent of months of Sha Sha's salary. For most players, it was a fortune beyond imagination. Thanks to her, he finally had the strength and confidence to start hunting monsters. Just before he left, Yi Tianming returned the item Maiden's Affection to her. Sha Sha's face instantly flushed the moment she saw the familiar blue and white stripes. She nervously tugged at her skirt and whispered, "Seek in you. Stay with me tonight?" Her shy, hopeful expression made Yi Tianming pause, completely stunned. He gently patted her on the head and smiled. "All right, I'll be home tonight." Then, he turned and left the newbie village, heading straight for the beginner's forest, ready to level up through battle. The forest was divided into 3 zones, each one more dangerous than the last. Yi Tianming headed straight for the deepest region, determined to uncover the game's hidden Easter eggs. But just outside the village gate, he stopped in his tracks. Bodies of fallen adventurers were scattered everywhere. The culprit was a level 1 monster, the Flame Rooster. Standing 2.5 meters tall and covered in fire, this beast could burn a man alive with a single glance. But Yi Tianming didn't even flinch. His sword flashed, slashing off 20 HP from the fiery beast. As the fight went on, he quickly adapted to the rhythm of his new body. With smooth footwork and sharp strikes, he wore the monster down to its last sliver of health. The Flame Rooster let out a furious screech, its feathers igniting like a furnace. It unleashed its signature move, Blazing Iron Slam, a deadly auto-lock skill that had killed countless newbies. But it was useless against Yi Tianming. Thanks to his achievement buffs and Shasha's gifted gear, his stats were already beyond this world. He grabbed the flaming chicken by the throat and sneered. "You've only got 15 attack points? You can't even scratch my defense." With a final swing, he sliced the monster clean in half. Achievement unlocked, too fabulous to fry, and more. All stats plus 10. Damage against newbie zone monsters increased by 50%. All the monster-killing achievements from his past life were instantly reactivated. Rewards kept pouring in. Wasting no time, Yi Tianming headed straight toward the depths of the forest. On the way, he casually saved a group of adventurers who were getting stomped by a rogue hairy rabbit. The party originally had 7 members, but one oversized rabbit had already wiped out more than half of them. When they saw Yi Tianming take it down with a single effortless slash, a purple-haired man snapped, "If you've got gear that good, why didn't you share the source in the group chat? Because of your selfishness, my teammates died." Yi Tianming's face darkened. "Oh, trying to guilt trip your savior now? Is that how you thank the guy who just saved your life?" Fortunately, the team's captain, Yang Tao, knew what was up. He turned and knocked the purple-haired idiot out cold with a punch. Then he quickly bowed and apologized for the man's behavior. Yi Tianming didn't take it to heart. He calmly shared the rabbit's weaknesses with them, then continued on his journey, heading deeper into the forest. "Let's stick to hunting hairy rabbits using the info he gave us," Yang Tao's teammates agreed. "It's the safest bet." Meanwhile, Yi Tianming had arrived beneath a roaring waterfall. This was his real destination, the entrance to the hidden dungeon, Blackwater Serpent's Nest. Deep within lay an elite monster, the iron-tailed Blackwater Serpent. Its entire body was immune to blades and arrows, and it could spew lethal poison gas. No adventurer at this stage could possibly defeat it, except Yi Tianming knew its fatal flaw: 0.8 seconds of weakness immediately after it released poison. If he timed it perfectly and struck the serpent's head in that brief window, it would be an instant kill. And just like that, the Blackwater Serpent fell. Another wave of past life achievements activated, and a treasure chest dropped at his feet. Inside, he found a rare black iron tier item, Blackwater Bracers. Even better, he triggered a world announcement for the first elite monster kill. Every player saw his name flash across the screen. But for Yi Tianming, the loot and achievements weren't the real prize. He reached into a hidden compartment and pulled out a green skill book. It was titled Swordsmanship Digest. Its effect permanently increases attack speed when using sword-type weapons. The stat boost looked small on paper, but in real combat, it could turn the tide instantly. With everything settled, Yi Tianming turned back, eager for the date he'd promised Shasha tonight. Meanwhile, Shasha had just finished work and was walking home. Suddenly, the same group of players from earlier stepped out, blocking her path. Still bitter over being denied supplies, they had secretly followed her, waiting for the chance to strike. Just as one of them lunged toward her, a blur flashed through the air. Yi Tianming appeared in front of her, catching her in his arms just in time. He shot a cold glare at the attackers, then turned to Shasha. Leave this to me. I've got this. One of the thugs suddenly recognized him. Boss, that's the guy Xie Ziwen warned us about. They sneered and demanded Yi Tianming hand over his gear, and Sha if he wanted to live. Yi Tianming didn't even blink. Not happening. The man charged with his blade raised. With a single move, draw slash, Yi Tianming knocked the weapon right out of his hands. His swordsmanship had clearly leveled up. The others roared in anger and rushed at him, hoping to cut him down with sheer numbers. But Yi Tianming just smirked, then cut them down one by one with precision and ease. Their leader didn't even get a second chance. Yi Tianming's sword sliced him clean in half before anyone could react. The remaining thugs turned pale with fear. Dropping to their knees, they begged for mercy and swore they'd change their ways. Yi Tianming smiled faintly. I believe you, and with a flick of his blade, sent them all straight to the afterlife. Sha ran into his arms, tears in her eyes. Are you hurt? Are you okay? Sha softly explained that she had stayed out so late because she was gathering herbs to craft healing potions just for him. Seeing the tears welling in her eyes, Yi Tianming pulled her close. In this world, humans are more dangerous than monsters. Stay with me. I'll protect you. A smile lit up Shasha's face. Then from now on, your home is my home. Back at the house, the sound of running water from the bathroom made Yi Tianming's heart skip a beat. Shasha was blushing, nervous, but there was also a glimmer of anticipation in her eyes. She had dreamed of this moment, of being by his side forever. And now, that dream had finally come true. A few minutes later, she stepped out of the bathroom, her cheeks red, her hair still damp. In a soft voice, she said, "Darling, it's getting late. Let's get some rest." Yi Tianming understood exactly what she meant. From this moment on, he was no longer the dying man confined to a hospital bed. In this world, he would rise stronger than ever, with the girl he loved by his side and nothing left to regret. That night was nothing short of magical. Sha fell asleep peacefully in his arms. Yi Tianming opened the system interface to check on other players. As expected, most of them were still sleeping in cold, leaky wooden huts with no bedding at all. Compared to his warm bed and the woman in his arms, it was like heaven and hell. At the same time, the system updated the level rankings for all newbie villages. As expected, Yi Tianming topped the list at level 3. The next 4 players had just barely reached level 2. But seeing the rankings made his heart sink. If most players failed to reach level 10 within 15 days, they'd be erased by the system. Just then, a notification popped up, daily reward. First place on level leaderboard. He received a silver chest fragment. Collect 3 to craft a full treasure chest. A great bonus. Without delay, Yi Tianming checked the level up milestone rewards. The first player in this region to reach level 10 will receive a golden chest and a fusion ticket. If he could secure that prize, it would be a god tier start. But it wouldn't be easy. There were 10,000 newbie villages in District 1, meaning 10 million players were competing for that one spot. Time was ticking. Yi Tianming equipped his gear and headed out. Sha came over, dressed in a light robe, handing him several healing potions. Come back safe, okay. Sha looked at him with worry in her eyes. Yi Tianming gently tilted her chin and smiled. Don't worry, I'll be back tonight to see you in that maid outfit. With that, he headed out and quickly arrived at the outer edge of the beginner's forest. Up on the hill, a few girls were lying in wait, hoping to ambush solo adventurers. A high ponytailed girl suddenly pointed down. Look, a lone handsome guy. Another girl, Ziching, frowned. Is he insane? Walking alone into a level 2 monster zone. Just then, a level 2 Icefang wolf lunged at Yi Tianming. Without thinking, Ziching leapt down the hillside, rushing in to help. But in the next second, before she could even reach him, Yi Tianming sliced the wolf in half with a single blow. She froze, stunned speechless. Yi Tianming turned toward them and smirked. You were trying to save me? With that level of strength, you'd only get yourselves killed. Ziching puffed her chest and declared, We're peacekeepers from H City. Protecting civilians is our duty. Then her eyes widened in recognition. Wait, you're Yi Tianming. the number one on the leaderboard. She immediately extended a sincere invitation to join their team. But Yi Tianming replied coldly, "You'd only slow me down." Ziqing looked a little crushed. Still, Yi Tianming offered her a chance. "Reach level 5 within 2 days, then we'll talk." He handed her a monster guide. "Spread this information around. That's all I ask. I'm no saint, but we're all human. And when the final dungeon comes, we'll need every edge we can get." As Yi Tianming walked away, Ziqing's cheeks were burning red. The ponytail girl teased her with a grin. "You've got a crush on him, don't you?" "In no way." Ziqing stammered, flustered. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming had entered the dense forest zone. After slaying several monsters, 2 achievements popped up: Forest Assassin and Newbie Leader. Deep in the woods, he discovered a rare blood-cursed tree. Yi Tianming knew grinding monsters alone wouldn't cut it, not with millions of players racing to survive. So, he made a bold move. He'd dive into the hidden dungeon, Elven Shadowlands, and maybe say hello to some old friends from his past life. At the same time, the Wolfang mercenary group was holding a strategy meeting. Their leader, Wang Batian, stared at Yi Tianming's profile in disbelief. Who the hell is this monster from Village Zero? Using the intel from Xiezuan, he learned that only 5 players had reached level 2 in Village Zero, less than a tenth of their team. Without hesitation, Wang Batian activated a challenge token, forcefully initiating a cross-village PvP war. "The old world is gone," he roared. "From now on, this world belongs to us." Back in the village, Ziqing was enjoying lunch, blushing as she praised Yi Tianming. "He's unbelievably strong." She urged her teammates, "Get that monster guide out to everyone. Now." But suddenly, a loud system chime rang through the village. A full-screen announcement appeared. "Challenge initiated." Everyone froze in shock. The system broadcasted the official rules for the Newbie Village Showdown. Every point of EXP earned from killing monsters would equal 1 point on the scoreboard. The winning village would receive a 50% boost to all base stats and a 100% increase in EXP gain. The losers? Punishments ranging from stat reductions to full system erasure. Ziqing was furious. "Are you kidding me? The Wolfang mercs from Village 9 just triggered a PvP war at a time like this?" She knew exactly who was behind it. Wang Batian, the infamous mercenary leader known across foreign servers. Casual players stood no chance against this group. Then something even more alarming happened. Yi Tianming's name suddenly vanished from the leaderboard. In truth, he had just entered the Elven Shadow Prison, a hidden dungeon that completely cut him off from the outside world until he cleared it or died. This land was once the sacred home of the elves, now overrun by goblin invaders. And those goblins? The perfect XP source for Yi Tianming's next-level grind. Suddenly, rustling came from the underbrush. Yi Tianming spotted a young elven girl, tied up and lying helpless on the ground. No goblins in sight. It looked like she was alone, but as he approached, she struggled and spat out the cloth in her mouth. "Watch out, it's a trap." A goblin warrior leapt down from the trees. Yi Tianming blocked it effortlessly with one smooth motion. Realizing their ambush had failed, the goblins began to retreat. One of them yanked a cord, triggering a rain of arrows from hidden traps. But Yi Tianming dodged with ease, like it was nothing. The elven girl stared at him in awe, completely stunned. "Brave adventurer, are you here to save me?" she asked, hope returning to her voice. Yi Tianming gave her a gentle smile. "Turn around. I need to check your back." Elves bore a sacred symbol called the Mark of Purity. If they were defiled or betrayed their kin, the mark would disappear. The girl's cheeks flushed red, but she shyly turned around to show him. The mark was still there, glowing faintly. Relieved, Yi Tianming gently lifted her onto his back. "Most elves captured by goblins," he began, his tone serious, "don't make it out untouched. I had to be sure." The girl whispered, "They didn't touch me because I'm different. My identity is special." That triggered a memory. Yi Tianming suddenly remembered. In the post-game content of Infinite Continent, there was a hidden storyline. The elven princess searching for her lost younger sister. And now, he had finally stepped into that very quest line. Suddenly, the girl stiffened. They're coming, she gasped. The goblins, they've used a tracking spell. Please, you have to go. Leave me behind. I don't want you to get hurt because of me. Yi Tianming smirked. Run? Why bother? He said calmly. I'm just going to kill them all. Besides, I've already prepared a little surprise for the goblins. The elven girl looked around in confusion. They were surrounded with nothing but a sheer cliff behind them. Yi Tianming pointed up the mountain. See those chains embedded in the rocks? This whole area is a massive trap the goblins set long ago to wipe out the elves. These chains connect the mountain faces into a pressure-balanced structure. The girl's eyes sparkled with admiration. You're incredible. How did you even know about that? Yi Tianming smiled. I've died in this dungeon enough times to memorize every inch of it. Meanwhile, the goblin army was charging down from the summit. Without hesitation, Yi Tianming drew his sword and slashed the final load-bearing chain. The mountainside collapsed in a thunderous landslide, burying the entire goblin force beneath tons of rock. Level up. You're now level 8. Combat power, 16. The elven girl stared at the destruction below. Tears filled her eyes. Our people finally have justice. She ran into Yi Tianming's arms, overwhelmed with emotion. Thank you for avenging the elven tribe. I've never seen a new adventurer as strong as you. It's like you were born for this. Wiping her eyes, she looked up and pleaded, Please help me finish this. Wipe out the rest of the goblins. Cleanse our sacred forest. Yi Tianming coughed lightly and turned to the elven girl with a grin. Hold on. I've got one more thing to take care of. He'd moved too fast. The princess hadn't even had time to cast her blessing spell on him. Not that he needed it. After leveling up from the goblin massacre, his stats had tripled. His physical strength now surpassed human limits. Down below, the remaining goblins saw him approaching and began backing away in fear. Relax, Yi Tianming said with a smirk. I'm just here to help you fulfill your purpose. Now be good and become my stat points. Meanwhile, the PvP battle between Village 0 and Village 9 was raging on. The current score, 2,468 to 2,712. Thanks to Yi Tianming's monster guide, the villagers had managed to hold their ground against the Wolfang mercs. After hours of fighting, both sides agreed to a 10-minute rest. But Ziqing didn't stop. She quietly made her way to the level 1 monster zone, grinding alone. Something's off about her, the pink-haired girl muttered. The blue-haired teammate sighed. Her crush died. Of course she's not okay. I've never seen Ziqing blush over a guy before, and just when it started, it ended. Now, she's using battle as an escape, trying to numb the pain. Ziqing believed Yi Tianming had died in the forest. After all, he promised to find her if she reached level 5. She didn't understand why it hurt so much after only one meeting, but she knew one thing. She wanted to fight alongside him again. Then, out of nowhere, his name flickered back onto the leaderboard. Ziqing froze. Her eyes widened. Her mouth opened in shock. He's alive! Deep within the hidden realm, a rift suddenly tore open across the sky, space rippling violently like disturbed water. Just as Yi Tianming finished clearing the last of the goblins, the elven girl came running toward him. What's happening? He looked up, eyes sharp. Someone from the main world just entered. Her eyes lit up with hope. Could it be my sister? She's finally come to find me. She placed a hand over her heart and formally introduced herself. My name is Frylin, second princess of the Elven Kingdom. My sister, Freelia, is the strongest light elf under the queen herself. She's the goblins' sworn enemy, and they kidnapped me to blackmail her. If not for you, I'd be gone. The House of Lord will never forget this favor. But something doesn't feel right. Those goblins were just grunts. The real threat hasn't shown itself yet. I fear my sister may already be in danger. Meanwhile, Princess Freelia had reached the royal palace, only to find it in ruins. The once great halls lay scorched and shattered. Without hesitation, she released her scouting bird to search for her sister's trail. But the moment it took flight, a blast of black lightning shot out of the sky. Her eyes narrowed. An ambush! The goblin warlord is here. The ground beneath her feet pulsed with dark energy. A strange arcane symbol appeared, glowing and spinning. A trap had been set, and it had just been triggered. Freelia's power was instantly sealed. Her magic drained away as a dark sigil glowed beneath her feet. The goblin warlord swaggered forward and gripped her throat, lifting her off the ground. Once the princess is gone, the sacred barrier will collapse, and then your entire elf race will be mine to crush. Suddenly, a sword beam whistled through the air, striking the warlord's arm and forcing him to drop her. Yi Tianming rushed in, scooping Freelia into his arms without hesitation. The goblin warlord roared in fury and charged, swinging his massive spiked mace. But just in time, Frylin appeared, casting a lesser spirit barrier to intercept the blow. The shield wouldn't last long, but it bought them a few precious seconds. The goblin warlord thundered with rage. "Who is this damned adventurer? How dare you interfere with my prey?" Yi Tianming knew the truth. This boss was level 18, with monstrous HP and insane defense. A head-on fight would be suicide, but he had died at this boss before, again and again. And from those deaths, he had learned. In his arms, Freelia stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, her expression softening as she saw her sister safe and sound. Then she looked at Yi Tianming and blushed. A strange warmth filled her chest, an unfamiliar feeling of trust toward this mysterious, powerful adventurer. Freelia thanked Yi Tianming softly, then hesitated. Have we met before? She didn't remember. After all, their story, truly, hadn't begun until after this dungeon. In Yi Tianming's past life, Freelia had given up her royal title after failing to find her sister. She became a lone elven ranger, one of the rarest and most elusive NPCs in the entire game. Smiling at the memory, Yi Tianming asked gently, "I heard you possess a legendary bow that's especially effective against goblins. May I borrow it?" Freelia paused. Then she reached behind her and drew Moonlight Glory, a radiant, silver-white bow imbued with the full might of the Light Elves. "This bow, it's too powerful. I'm afraid your level isn't high enough to wield it." Frylin added cautiously, "That's a level 40 weapon. Unless you're her bonded partner, you won't even be able to lift it." The situation was dire. With Freelia cursed and immobilized, there was no way they could defeat the goblin warlord. The only path forward was for Freelia to forge a spirit contract with Yi Tianming. But Frylin looked panicked. "That's dangerous. The contract requires deep trust and emotional resonance. If it fails, she'll lose her purity mark." Freelia blushed, eyes locked on Yi Tianming. "It's okay. I want to try." She stepped forward. In front of her sister, she wrapped her arms around him and kissed him. A brilliant green light erupted around them. Intricate spirit runes danced through the air. Spirit bond complete. Off to the side, Frylin lowered her head, her heart sinking like a stone. "She's so sly," she muttered, "falling for him at first sight, and I haven't even confessed yet." But before the moment could sink deeper, the goblin warlord Tordos launched a sudden ambush, shattering the barrier with a brutal blow. "Ha! None of you are leaving here alive," he roared triumphantly. Yi Tianming responded with a cold smirk. "Is that so? I'm now wielding a level 40 legendary bow, Moonlight Glory, plus I've got elven blessings backing me up. You sure you want to keep talking?" Tordos faltered, instinctively taking a step back, but he quickly bared his fangs and sneered. "You're just a low-level adventurer. A god-tier weapon doesn't make you a god. Fine, you want death? I'll give it to you." Yi Tianming drew the bowstring. Spirit energy surged around him. Glowing green auras wrapped his form like an armored halo. Tordos's bravado crumbled. His body trembled with primal fear. He tried to retreat, but too late. All of his goblin minions were already dead. He was alone. His face turned pale. Cold sweat dripped down his forehead. Twang! The bowstring sang. The arrow tore through the air, glowing like the moon, and pierced Tordos clean through. Instant kill. Level up. Player has reached level 10. A silver tier weapon dropped at his feet, Goblin War Spear, boasting an insane 193 attack power. Easily the best starter weapon around. But something far more disturbing lay nearby. A dark crystal, pulsing as it absorbed energy from the battlefield, unleashing an ominous aura across the forest. Freelia and Fryland walked over, eyes fixed on the dark crystal pulsing on the ground. What is that? Yi Tianming's expression turned serious. That's a dark origin shard. It holds power over space and time. The goblins likely used it to seal the dungeon, but this isn't their magic. Frelia's face darkened. Goblins could never access this level of power. Someone else is helping them. She immediately decided to report it to the Elven Council. As they exited the ruined castle, the sky above began to crack open, the rift signaling that the secret realm was collapsing back into the main world. Before parting, Frelia opened a glowing vault. As thanks for saving us, please choose a weapon. But Yi Tianming shook his head. I appreciate it, but I can't use high-tier gear just yet. I'll come back for it when I'm ready. Both princesses looked delighted. So, that means we'll see you again? Yi Tianming turned to Fryland, his gaze steady. Don't worry. A spirit contract is eternal. I'll keep my word. Next time we meet, I'll be strong enough to protect you both. As the light began to pull them apart, Fryland blushed. Tianming, big brother. She stepped forward and kissed his cheek, her face glowing with embarrassment. Ding, you have received Eternal Blessing, Heart of the Elves, legendary passive. Frelia's jaw dropped. Wait, is she trying to steal him from me? But Fryland, cheeks red, simply smiled. That was just a little thank you for saving my life. She waved goodbye softly. We'll be waiting for you at the Elven Sanctuary, Tianming, big brother. As Yi Tianming stepped out of the fading realm, he couldn't help but smile to himself. That little elf is way too dangerous for my heart. Suddenly, Yi Tianming noticed 5 unread system messages flashing. He opened them, and his eyes darkened instantly. Wang Batian, you dared to initiate the village showdown while I was gone? His voice turned icy. Reckless fool, you'll pay for this. Meanwhile, back at Village Zero, chaos was unfolding in the central zone. Ziqing and her team were barely holding on against a level 6 whirlwind vulture. One by one, her teammates were falling. The white-haired boy muttered, was this really a good idea? Fighting a level 6 monster? Gritting his teeth, Yang Tao shouted, I couldn't just let Village 9 pull ahead. But their gamble was backfiring. Stop, White Hair warned. If we lose the challenge, our score gets halved. It'll be over. Yang Tao slammed his fist into a tree, his voice low. If only Tianming were here. Rising to his feet, he growled, I'll hold it off. Ziqing run, but Ziqing didn't move. She charged the vulture and struck it with her sword. I'm not leaving anyone behind. Her heart clung to one belief. No one else believed it, but she did. Yi Tianming is still alive. And until he returns, I'll fight with everything I've got. For him, the vulture flared its wings, charging up its special move, Whirlwind. Ziqing's breath caught. She had nowhere left to run. She closed her eyes and whispered, so this is it. I couldn't hold out long enough to see you again. Just as all hope seemed lost, a puff of smoke cleared. Yi Tianming appeared, holding Ziqing close. Thanks for holding out, he said calmly. I'll take it from here. Ziqing froze, cheeks burning red, tears welling in her eyes. Yang Tao collapsed to his knees in shock. Yi Tianming, you're alive. The whirlwind vulture turned, panic flooding its eyes. It flapped wildly, desperate to flee. Low-level monsters are cowardly, Tianming muttered. They sense death instinctively. He drew his gleaming silver-tier spear and hurled it with deadly precision. Crash! The vulture screeched as the spear pierced through it. Crit. 1,156 damage. Instant kill. System alert. Village 0 gains 30 points. Total score, 4,175. The others stared in disbelief. That damage. Did that just happen in a rookie village? Only when they saw the level 10 mark next to Yi Tianming's name did they realize this guy had already left them far behind. Ziqing bowed her head, guilt washing over her. I'm sorry. You gave me everything I needed, but I still failed you. She looked up, eyes full of resolve. From now on, I'll fight by your side, no matter what it costs me. Tianming chuckled softly. You all did great, but who said this battle is over yet? The crowd gasped. But we're still 700 points behind. Can you really turn this around? He gave them a confident smile. Did you forget I'm level 10 now? I just returned from the Elven Secret Realm with enough points to change everything. Meanwhile, over at Village 9, Wang Batian and his mercenaries had cornered a level 5 Frostbear, one final hit away from a massive 5,000-point windfall. Wang Batian raised his weapon high, sneering, Yi Tianming's long gone. Fate favors us now. With a triumphant roar, he unleashed what was meant to be the final blow. The wild wolf merc's path to glory begins now. But to his horror, damage, 0. System alert. Challenge concluded. Village 0 score, 35,418. Victory achieved. Loser penalty activated. All stats halved. XP gain reduced by 50%. Chaos erupted in Village 9. Players scrambled to check the leaderboard, only to find one name dominating the board. Yi Tianming, 30,000 plus points. This has to be a cheat, one player screamed. No one can carry 10 rookie villages alone. In their panic, they forgot one thing. The Frostbear wasn't dead yet. Rayerf, the beast, let out a deafening roar, its health surging back. With their stats cut in half, the mercs couldn't stand a chance to end seconds. The Frostbear mauled through them like paper dolls. Boss, help me! One underling cried, trapped in the beast's claws. But Wang Batian was frozen, muttering to himself, no, this can't be happening. Meanwhile, back in Village 0, a glorious surge of power flooded the players. All attributes plus 50%. Max HP increased. Whitehair, who had collapsed moments ago, suddenly sprang up. We did it, he shouted. We won. The entire village cheered around him, shouting in awe. You saved us all, Yi Tianming. You're a legend, our eternal god. From that moment on, the whole rookie village pledged to follow his lead. He turned to Ziqing and praised her performance. To his surprise, she had already reached level 5, just as he'd challenged her to do. Well done, he nodded. Let's clear this beginner dungeon together. As night fell, Yi Tianming returned to Sasha's house to rest. But the moment he opened the door, he froze. Sasha was in a very revealing maid outfit, humming softly as she wiped the floor. His face instantly turned red. This wasn't the kind of innocent maid outfit he had in mind. What kind of degenerate world was this dungeon trying to emulate? Just then, Sasha turned to him with a coy smile. Welcome home, darling. Level 10 already? That was fast. Yi Tianming smirked, pointing his thumb at himself. Of course. Never underestimate your man. Sasha handed Yi Tianming a brand new badge with a smile. Congrats. You've officially ranked up to Iron Tier Adventurer again. That's when he remembered. Sasha worked for the Adventurers Guild and handled badge distribution. With her help, he skipped the usual test. With a grin, Yi Tianming teased. Aren't guild officials supposed to be fair? Playing favor to get you in trouble, you know. Sasha blushed, covering her mouth with a shy laugh. She gently took his hand and whispered, then, how about we do a special test, just the two of us? Sitting down, she gave him a mischievous look that clearly said, bring it on. Yi Tianming chuckled. All right, let me show you what a level 10 adventurer is capable of. Time skipped, 2.5 hours later. Sasha leaned back, red-faced and out of breath. You win. I surrender. Test passed. He looked at her seriously. I'm leaving the village tomorrow. Will you come with me? She nodded without hesitation. Of course. Being with you is all I want. But I don't have a job or anything. Yi Tianming laughed softly. Don't worry. For me, making money is easy. I'll take care of you always. Sasha smiled and hugged him tightly. Then from now on, I'm your loyal maid. Forever. Early the next morning, a large group of players had already gathered at the village gate, waiting anxiously. As Yi Tianming appeared, the crowd erupted with excitement. It's really him, the top player of our newbie village, someone shouted. A fangirl nearby gasped. He's even more handsome in person. Mu Ziqing stepped forward and reported, Yi Tianming, we've gathered all players above level 2, just as you instructed. At that moment, Yang Tao suddenly yelled at a man in the crowd, Get lost! The man immediately dropped to his knees and pleaded, I'm sorry, Yang. Please, just give me one more chance. Just as Yang Tao was about to hit him, Yi Tianming raised his hand. Hold on. The man glanced at Yi Tianming with hatred in his eyes. Damn you, Yi Tianming. It's your fault I got kicked out of the team. Because of you, the Wild Wolf Mercs were nearly wiped out. But today, once I sneak into the dungeon, I'll wait for the moment you're injured, and then I'll settle every score. Yi Tianming stared at him coldly, already recognizing the man as one of the mercs. With a smirk, he said, "You've tried to ambush me again and again. I didn't expect you'd actually have the nerve to walk right up to me today." The moment Yi Tianming finished speaking, both Ziqing and Yang Tao were stunned. He's from the Wild Wolf Mercs. Xie Ziwen's face went pale, trying to defend himself. I've never even heard of the Wild Wolves. He dropped to his knees in front of Yang Tao, desperately begging for help. He even accused Yi Tianming of falsely accusing him. But Yang Tao wasn't buying it. If Yi Tianming says so, that's all the proof I need. Ziqing finally put the pieces together. No wonder Lin Hao's village was forced into a duel. It was this traitor who sold us out. Yi Tianming had heard enough. With a cold look, he drew his sword. Seeing this, Xie Ziwen stopped pretending and screamed, "Fine, I am from the Wild Wolf Mercs. But if you kill me, our boss will never let you go." Yi Tianming smirked. Funny how corpses still talk, and with that, ended him in one clean strike. The nearby players were stunned. They're all turning into respect. Yi Tianming doesn't mess around when it comes to enemies. Yang Tao nodded approvingly. That guy had it coming. He deserved worse. He did the right thing, boss. By nightfall, the group reached the deepest part of the novice forest, only to be stopped by two soldiers. This road is off limits. Village chief's orders. Yi Tianming calmly showed his adventurer's badge. I've been sent by the guild to investigate. Let us through. The soldiers froze for a moment upon seeing the black iron badge. Then they grabbed his hands excitedly. Thank the heavens, a black iron adventurer has come at last. This is the only path to the outside world, but recently it's been covered in thick fog. Several trade caravans have already vanished. And every night, strange noises echo from within. We're the last guards left here. It's not safe to stay. Just then, the system announcement echoed backslash. You have entered Path of Mourning, final novice village dungeon. Requiem is now active. With over 50 participants, the difficulty has been upgraded to Hell mode. The moment the players stepped in, an icy chill swept over them. Fog clung to the air, and an eerie silence loomed. One of them shivered and muttered, "Is this really the path to the outside? Feels more like a road to hell." Suddenly, the jingle of bells echoed from the distance, and everyone tensed up, eyes wide with fear. Yi Tianming narrowed his eyes and ordered sharply, "Hide. No one moves without my say." Through the mist, a group of people appeared. The sound of bells was coming from them. Their leader, mounted on a horse, looked surprised and relieved to see others. He rode forward and shouted joyfully, "Thank the heavens! Adventurer, we're guards from a merchant caravan. We've been trapped here for months, unable to find the path to the village. We're on the brink of collapse. Do you know the way out?" Yi Tianming smiled faintly. "Of course. Come closer. I'll show you." Overjoyed, the man dismounted. He jogged over eagerly, praising, "You must be the kindest adventurer I've ever met." Before he could finish his sentence, Yi Tianming drove his sword straight through the man's chest. His eyes were cold as steel. "I meant the road to your eternal rest." The players watching gasped in shock. "Holy crap, Yi Tianming just killed a guy again, right in front of us." "Look at that body," someone shouted. The corpse began glowing with an eerie blue light. And then, the so-called caravan guards revealed their true forms. They were undead. The undead captain pointed at Yi Tianming and sneered. "Just a rookie adventurer? You're no match for Lord Roland's undead army." With a wave of his hand, he summoned a swarm of skeletal warriors, crawling out from the fog-covered ground. The players behind grew nervous. "We have to help Yi Ji," someone shouted, but Yang Tao quickly stopped him. "Yi Ji told us to stay put. He must have a plan. If we charge in, we'll only get in his way." "But can he really handle an entire undead army alone?" someone asked, voice trembling. Yi Tianming raised his thunder spear, eyes burning with confidence. Now this feels like hell mode. These monsters are twice as strong and twice as many as they were in the last game. Without hesitation, he dashed into the fray. Thunder crackled, lightning danced, and dozens of undead were obliterated in an instant. With a cold smirk, he declared, "Other than feeding me XP, what else are you even good for?" The players watched in awe, stunned by his strength. Yi Ji is insane. I love him. A girl in the crowd even shouted, "I want to have Yi Ji's babies." A stunned teammate whispered, "Yang Ji, you were right. If we jumped in, we really would have just dragged him down." He swallowed hard, eyes still locked on Yi Tianming's figure. This isn't just a level gap. For the first time, I can feel it, an overwhelming, soul-crushing difference. Even if our whole village went up against him, we still wouldn't stand a chance. Ding. A system message appeared before Yi Tianming. / Your EXP has reached its maximum limit. Further experience will be sealed until your job advancement is completed. Please proceed with your class promotion to unlock new levels. Meanwhile, the undead captain stood in disbelief. Impossible. My glorious undead legion, wiped out by a mere rookie adventurer. Panicking, it tried to retreat, leaving behind a parting threat. Don't get cocky. Lord Roland will never let this slide. You'll regret this. But before it could escape, its own undead horse suddenly reared up and threw it off violently. The captain roared, its eyes glowing red. "You cursed beast! How dare you betray your master?" But the only response it got was the thunderous stomp of hooves, relentless, furious. The warhorse trampled its master into dust. Yi Tianming narrowed his eyes. So even undead beasts retain their final grudges. Seems like this horse remembered exactly who killed it. And today, it got its revenge. The undead warhorse approached Yi Tianming, eyes filled with a strange, lingering sorrow. He gently stroked its mane and asked, "So, you want me to avenge you? To ride into your murderer's lair? But you know, if I fail, there'll be no coming back for either of us." The horse knelt, silently offering itself as his steed. Without hesitation, he mounted with a confident smirk. "Well then, let's ride straight into the abyss." Watching his figure disappear into the mist, the others murmured, "EGE's going in alone? That's suicide. Forget it. The monsters here are way beyond us. Let's hit level 10 first and come back later." Just then, Yang Tao received a private message, a request to escort Xia Sha to the undead fortress. Apparently, she carried something crucial. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming had already arrived at a dark, ominous castle. The ground was littered with corpses. The air was thick with rot and death. As he stepped inside, the final boss revealed himself that a skeletal figure emerged, draped in robes, staff in hand. His name, Roland the Necromancer. "Oh, so I'm already past my little test," he chuckled. "Faster than I expected." Standing atop a twisted altar, Roland offered an invitation. "You've proven yourself worthy. Come join me. Become one with the undead, a true necromancer." The system alert chimed in. Frowny-faced Necromancer Roland has invited you to change your class to Necromancer. Accept. But Yi Tianming's eyes turned cold. He drew his sword, voice thundering. "You slaughtered innocents, turned them into puppets for your sick rituals, and you call that a test?" Roland only laughed louder. "Huh, it is an honor. They've become part of something greater, and so will you. The power you witnessed, that's the strength of a true necromancer." Yi Tianming scoffed, eyes sharp as blades. "Strong? What a joke. The entire world knows your kind. Necromancers were nearly wiped out by the Church of Light, hiding like rats in the dark, and now you're reduced to recruiting newbies with tricks and lies." He sneered. "To me, you know different from filth in the gutter." Roland's smile vanished. Rage twisted his face. "You dare insult the glorious god of the undead? Such a shame. You had potential." With a roar, he summoned a legion of armored undead warriors. Their eyes glowed crimson as they surged forward. Yi Tianming gripped his weapon, ready to fight. But before he could strike, a burst of deathly magic exploded beneath his feet. The force hurled him backward, slamming him into a pillar. Dark tendrils lashed out and shackled his arms. Roland laughed maniacally. In the face of absolute power, your talent means nothing. Relax, boy. I'll turn you into my perfect undead servant. The ritual began. A coffin of blood and bone formed around him. But Yi Tianming smiled, cold and fearless. Is that so? He remembered clearly, in his past life, he had failed here. This impossibly strong boss, far beyond anything a newbie should face, had crushed him. In the end, he'd submitted, dragged into Roland's cursed labyrinth, enduring unspeakable trials until he escaped at level 35. That failure cost him dearly. He missed his chance at early advancement, lost precious time, and fell behind his peers. Back then, he thought it was just fate. But now, after unlocking the Elven questline early, he understood. The true key to breaking this fate had always been the Dark Origin Fragment. And now, he was ready to use it. He activated the artifact. A black aura surged from his body, distorting the very air. The castle trembled. Space shattered. Something ancient and powerful had awakened within him. The system notified. Yi Tianming had poured all his magic into the Dark Source Fragment. Activation reached 1%. Current magic could sustain it for 45 more seconds. At that moment, Roland's face twisted in fear. What is this place? What did you do? Where are my undead minions? Yi Tianming smiled coldly. Relax. I simply sealed off this space. There's nothing here but you and me. No outside forces, not even your undead. Roland's eyes widened in horror. His brows shot up and sweat trickled down his forehead. Without another word, Yi Tianming lunged forward. Let's see how strong you really are without your undead to back you up. With one devastating strike, Roland was slain. The system chimed. You have defeated Necromancer Roland. Gain 150,000 EXP. Experience overflow stored. Please transfer class to unlock further levels. At his feet, Yi Tianming spotted a glowing red orb. The system displayed. Soul Orb, Roland exclusive. Contains hundreds of undead spirits. Only usable by Roland due to exclusive imprint. Picking it up, Yi Tianming sneered. An exclusive soul orb? Worthless to others, but to someone who once ascended as the god of undeath. He chanted an ancient incantation. The system updated. Soul Orb ownership changed. Now bound to Yi Tianming. A mere low-tier seal dares to challenge supreme necromantic magic? Yi Tianming mocked, unleashing its power. Instantly, hordes of undead warriors emerged around him, their presence shaking the very air. As the undead warriors gathered around him, Yi Tianming smiled with satisfaction. Finally, I have my own undead army. Just then, a familiar voice echoed behind him. It was Sasha. She ran up and threw her arms around him. Darling, are you finally taking me with you? She asked, her face glowing with happiness. Yi Tianming nodded. That's the plan. But the teleportation array out of the village has been destroyed. Since you're part of the Adventurers Guild, I assume you can fix it. Sasha replied confidently, leave it to me. As Sasha went to repair the array, Yang Tao stared at Yi Tianming in shock. Wait, so that's why you DM'd me to escort Sasha? I can't believe it. You even charmed an NPC. You really are a legend. Yi Tianming chuckled awkwardly. Come on, young bro, don't exaggerate. Still, thanks for your help this time. No need to thank me. It's an honor to help someone like you. Yang Tao grinned. But are you really not going to say goodbye to Miss Mu? She clearly has deep feelings for you. Yi Tianming shook his head with solemn resolve. My heart already belongs to someone. I can't return her feelings. Stirring her emotions further would only put her in danger in a world like this. Sometimes walking away is the kinder choice. Just then, Sasha called out, Darling, the teleportation array is fixed. Before leaving, Yi Tianming turned back to Yang Tao and offered one final piece of advice. This array connects to dozens of cities, each tied to a unique class path. Once you choose, there's no turning back. Choose wisely. With that, he took Sasha's hand and stepped into the glowing portal. Behind them, Yang Tao stood with clasped fists, bowing respectfully as they vanished into the light. Yi Tianming looked tenderly at Sasha as he held her hand. "Let's go, my love," he whispered. Before long, the two arrived at Handan City. Sasha clung to his arm like an excited child. Her eyes sparkled as she took in the grand scene. "Wow, it's so beautiful. So this is the legendary metropolis? I've never seen anything like it." Seeing her so full of joy, Yi Tianming couldn't help but smile. But deep down, he knew this moment of peace wouldn't last. Memories flooded his mind. Handan City, also the headquarters of the Assassin's League. In his past life, by the time he had escaped the necromancer's lair, this city had already fallen to ruin. It was here that he met an old friend, the sole survivor of the Assassin's League. Under her guidance, he once walked the path of an assassin. Though she could only teach him the basics, due to injuries, the raw burst damage of the class remained unrivaled. And with his retained battle instincts and agile movement, the assassin path was undoubtedly the best choice for him in this lifetime. Afterward, he and Sasha checked into the Hidden Hue Inn. There, Yi Tianming made a silent vow. Before chaos reached Handan City, he would seize every opportunity, gather every legacy, and strengthen himself for what was to come. After a long and exhausting day, Yi Tianming finally got the chance to unwind. He undressed and sank into the warm wooden tub. As the steam rose around him, he marveled at the luxurious bath setup. This is almost like a five-star hotel. Totally worth the 500 copper coins, he thought with satisfaction. Just as he began to relax, the door to his room suddenly opened. Sasha stepped in, wrapped in a towel. Seeing her like this made Yi Tianming blush. With a gentle smile, she said, "You've worked so hard today, love. Let me give you a back rub." Her soft hands slid across his back, sending pleasant shivers down his spine. He couldn't help but think, since when did Sasha get this bold? Then he suddenly felt something soft press against his back, her chest. The intimate gesture made both of them blush. Yi Tianming chuckled. "Long day, huh? Maybe we should just get some rest tonight." But Sasha's hand wandered lower as she whispered mischievously, "Oh, but I'm not tired at all. And it seems like you're feeling very energetic too." What followed? Well, let's leave that to the audience's imagination. The next morning, Yi Tianming headed to the Adventurers Guild. Not long after, Sasha ran up to him with excitement. "Honey, this guild is actually looking for staff." She hugged him tightly. "I've decided to work here. You can go about your tasks without worrying about me." Yi Tianming gently patted her head, smiling. "You could have just stayed at the hotel and enjoyed yourself. You don't need to push yourself." But Sasha pouted, "I don't want to be a pretty face doing nothing. Wherever you go, I want to help." Before he left, Yi Tianming reminded her, "I'll return as soon as I can. Make sure to take care of yourself." "Okay." Sasha clung to him with teary eyes. "All I want is for you to come back safely. That's the greatest gift you can give me." Yi Tianming summoned several undead warriors and ordered coldly, "Guard Sasha. If anyone dares to get close, kill them without hesitation." The skeleton warriors knelt in unison, their voices echoing eerily, "Yes, my master." He then made his way to the Assassin Academy of Handan City, the very place his old friend had once spoken of. It was also the only academy across the endless continent dedicated to training assassins. Approaching a red-haired girl at the entrance, he said calmly, "I'm here to register." The girl beamed. "Wow, you're in luck. Today's the last day of registration. Fill out the form quickly. The entrance exam is about to begin." Taking the form in hand, Yi Tianming raised an eyebrow. "Huh? No registration fee? I remember the Sword Academy charged 20 gold coins just to apply." A girl nearby couldn't help but speak up. "Big brother, you must be from out of town, huh? You really didn't know that?" Yi Tianming turned to look at her. She immediately blushed and covered her mouth with both hands. Note, at this moment, she was still disguised as a man. Yi Tianming was a little confused. "What's with this guy? Why'd he blush the moment he saw me? I don't remember charming any men in my last life." He walked over and asked, "Why is enrollment here free?" After the student's patient explanation, everything finally made sense. Turns out Cold Pool City was located in a barren desert where resources were extremely scarce. For kids from poor families, Becoming an assassin after reaching level 10 was often the only way to survive. They took on bounty missions from the Assassin's Guild just to feed their families, living on the edge every single day. To put it bluntly, the guild wanted their lives, and they wanted the guild's money. That IT was a simple transaction, so the cost of training was covered by the guild. Just then, Yi Tianming glanced at a group of well-dressed students and asked, "What about them? They don't look poor at all." The student's face darkened. "They're different. Those are the children of the 4 noble families within the guild. After graduation, they go straight into management positions. They'll never have to risk their lives like we do." At that moment, the red-haired instructor clapped her hands to get everyone's attention. "Let me remind you, being an assassin comes with an 82% mortality rate. Once you take this step, there's no turning back. If anyone wants to leave, now's your chance." She motioned toward a large stone behind her. "Since no one's backing out, let me explain the entrance exam." The stone structure broke apart, revealing a glowing teleportation portal. This test isn't just your admission exam. It's also your first-class transfer that you'll enter the trial sanctuary and face a personal challenge. Do your best. Based on your performance, the trial stone will assign you a class rank. The ranks from highest to lowest are Heaven, Earth, Black, and Yellow. There are even rumors of hidden tiers that no one's ever reached. The higher your rank, the greater your potential. It'll also boost your chances of unlocking elite classes during your second class transfer. Your score will determine your class placement, and the top 10 scorers will receive special academy rewards. One of the noble kids scoffed, "Teacher Zhang, why bother wasting breath on these peasants?" The others chimed in mockingly, "Yeah, do they really think they have a shot at the top 10? It's always us, the children of the 4 noble families." 2 boys standing behind the blonde youth quickly flattered him. "But of course, this year's top spot still belongs to you. Young Master Liu, you're a once-in-a-generation prodigy. Took down a level 10 beast without even changing classes." Liu snorted disdainfully. "Let's just get this over with. Being around these lowborns makes the air smell foul." With a long sigh, Teacher Zhang gestured toward the portal, and the students began stepping into the assassin trial sanctuary one by one. Instructor Zhang turned toward the less privileged students and smiled gently. "Everyone, the test officially begins now. Please proceed in an orderly fashion. I wish you all the best." In the crowd, someone muttered under his breath, "Damn it, those nobles really look down on us." A friend nudged him quickly. "Keep it down. Those guys don't even listen to the instructors. If you piss them off, we're all in trouble." Standing at the side, Yi Tianming chuckled at the scene. A nearby girl tilted her head and asked, "What's so funny?" As he walked confidently toward the portal, he smiled and said, "I was just thinking, so these are the people I'll be competing with? This might be easier than I thought." As he stepped into the trial, a system message rang out. "You have entered the realm of inheritance. Current floor, 1, Assassin Before Dawn. Time remaining, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. When time runs out, all uncompleted participants and the corpses of the fallen will be forcefully expelled." The next moment, Yi Tianming found himself lying on a hilltop. A young man nearby was shaking him frantically. "Bro, wake up. You seriously fell asleep mid-mission?" Still disoriented, Yi Tianming looked around. "Wait, mission? What mission?" The young man stared in disbelief. "What? Don't tell me you slept so hard you forgot why we're here." He pointed toward a bonfire in the distance. "See that man sitting by the fire? That's the king of the Rafta Empire. Our job is to assassinate him and steal the ancient relic he found in the ruins. He returns to the capital tomorrow. Tonight is our only chance." Yi Tianming raised his eyebrows in surprise. "So this is it? A real assassination mission for the very first trial. Makes sense. If someone's not ready to kill, they don't deserve to be an assassin. What about his guards?" The young man's face turned grim. "I scouted them already. 50 royal guards, each one a level 12 swordsman. We don't stand a chance in a frontal assault." The young man whispered carefully, "So, what we need to do now is study their patrol patterns." But before he could finish, Yi Tianming suddenly leapt from the high ground, catching the guy completely off guard. He landed right in the middle of the royal guards. Instantly, The swordsmen raised their weapons. "Who are you?" Yi Tianming calmly replied, "The one who came to take your life." The king burst into laughter. "Ha ha, what a joke. Just one man dares to kill me? You're delusional." A sly smile crept onto Yi Tianming's face. "Who said I was alone?" With that, he activated his undead summoning skill. "Arise, my undead army." In an instant, legions of skeletal warriors emerged from the darkness. Screams erupted from all sides. "Spare me. I don't want to die. We're surrounded. There's no escape." The king's laughter turned to panic as he watched his guards fall like wheat before the scythe. Yi Tianming stepped forward, locking eyes with the terrified monarch. The king begged frantically, "Who sent you? I'll pay double. No, 100,000. 1,000,000 gold. Name your price. Just let me live." Without hesitation, Yi Tianming's blade flashed. "Accept your fate. No amount of gold can buy your life back." As the king's body collapsed to the ground, Yi Tianming added coldly, "Even if you gave it to me, I couldn't take it with me." Moments later, the young assassin in training jumped down as well, eyes wide with admiration. "Whoa, bro, that was insane. You're incredibly powerful, and you didn't even flinch at the promise of gold. You upheld the assassin's code perfectly. Total legend." At that moment, Yi Tianming held the mysterious treasure box taken from the king, but no matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't open. The other student, clearly anxious, shouted, "Bro, forget the treasure for now. We gotta move. Someone's bound to discover this place soon." A system notification followed. "You have cleared floor 1/assassin before dawn. Current floor 2/ those who rest in the abyss. Remaining time 1 hour, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. Outside the trial grounds, the freshman coordinator, Zhang Feiyu, shouted, "Time's almost up. First floor will close soon. Med teams, be ready to assist any injured." Sure enough, as the students returned from the trial, the courtyard erupted in cries. Some were wounded, missing arms, drenched in blood. Others didn't make it back at all. Zhang Feiyu stood with arms crossed, calmly observing the chaos. "I warned you all. The path of the assassin is a one-way road paved with death. From the moment you stepped into the trial grounds, you've been living on borrowed time." She then turned to the surviving students and announced, "But congratulations. Though you failed the first floor, you survived. That alone makes you officially yellow rank assassins. You'll be assigned to the standard class, led by instructor and Sui Sui." Suddenly, a nervous assistant ran up with a report. "Director Zhang, the numbers are in. 3 commoner students didn't return from the first floor." Zhang Feiyu's eyes widened in shock. She turned toward the portal, still humming with energy. "You're telling me 3 commoners actually cleared the first trial? In previous years, it was rare to see even one make it through. But now 3 at once? This has never happened before." However, for them, this might not be good news. The second level of the trial realm was extremely perilous. They had to escape from the city under the Rafta Empire while being hunted by hundreds of thousands of soldiers. A single misstep could mean total annihilation. Instructor and Sui Sui added, "That's right. Over generations, the 4 great clans have pieced together a complex escape route, which is kept top secret. Even so, only the most elite among their descendants can barely make it through all the checkpoints." She then asked with uncertainty, "Director Zhang, do you really think the Rafta Empire actually exists?" Zhang Feiyu frowned deeply. "Impossible. How could a massive empire like that leave no trace in the historical records? Not even a single ruin? It must be a fabricated space within the inheritance trial. Let's just hope those 3 promising students survive this," she muttered. Meanwhile, inside the realm, soldiers scoured every inch of the city below. "Search every corner. Don't let anyone slip past." Yi Tianming and another student were hiding in a corner, watching as soldiers patrolled the streets. The student whispered, "Yi, we're too late. The city gates are shut. Now the whole Empire's army is out hunting us. What do we do?" Yi Tianming opened the map and analyzed it calmly. "With hundreds of thousands of soldiers on the move, if we force our way out, they'll just keep sending reinforcements. We'll never make it in 2 hours. This can't be the intended route. It must be a puzzle." Just then, a drop of blood splattered on the map. Yi Tianming turned and snapped. "Take that filthy head away. It's disgusting." But the student clutched the bloodied head like a treasure and grinned. "E.g., you don't get it. This is proof. For missions like this, we need evidence. Without the king's head, how are we going to claim the reward?" Yi Tianming stared at the guy in speechless disbelief. Yi Tianming ignored the guy and continued studying the map. Rafta Empire. Rafta, the name sounded oddly familiar. Then it hit him. In his past life, after Handan City was destroyed, he once found an ancient journal buried in a dried-up lake bed. One of the entries was a strange fable that mentioned Rafta. It read, "The tale of Rafta. Prosperity hides the blooming of sinful flowers. Beneath the earth, the wails of the dead echo. The gods unleash a tide of fury, and all returns to silence within the abyss." That fable, could it be more than just a story? Could this entire place be based on real history rather than a fabricated trial realm? If so, the riddle might hold the key to escaping. Yi Tianming turned to the student and recited, "Prosperity hides the bloom of sin. Wails beneath the earth." Anything come to mind when you hear beneath the earth? The student lit up. "That's genius, boss. We could dig a tunnel, hide in a cellar, or slip into the sewers." Yi Tianming shook his head with a smirk. "Those spots may seem hidden, but they're the most obvious places to search. There's one location, however, that's severely underguarded right now due to troop redeployments: the dungeon." They rushed to the dungeon and were met with a grisly sight. The ground was littered with dead soldiers. The student was stunned once again by Yi Tianming's uncanny foresight. "Unreal. Boss, how did you know? The place really is practically unguarded." But confusion quickly replaced awe. "Wait, boss, what are we doing here? If we get trapped in this place, we're screwed." Just then, the student noticed a pair of blood-red eyes staring at him from inside a cell. He yelped and fell to the ground. "Gee, ghost," Yi Tianming calmly explained. "That's a merfolk." But even he was puzzled. Why was the Rafta Empire imprisoning so many of them? This place, disguised as an ordinary dungeon, was actually filled with an entire tribe of merfolk. The English adaptation, YouTube comic narration style, third-person perspective. Yi Tianming opened the prison gate and stepped inside. A female merfolk was shackled to the wall. Before he could say a word, the mermaid shouted, "Kill me. I'd rather die than reveal the location of the sacred relic." From the adjacent cell, angry roars echoed. "Damn you, laugh to scum. Don't you dare touch Lady Kraka. What kind of coward attacks a woman? Come at me instead." Hearing this, Yi Tianming's eyes narrowed. Sacred relic? Could she be referring to the item he seized last night? Were they imprisoned because of it? Everything suddenly clicked. Just as he suspected, these merfolk might be the key to escaping this place. Without hesitation, he slashed through her chains. The mermaid fell unexpectedly into his arms, stunned by his action. Moments later, he had broken the locks of every cell, freeing all the imprisoned merfolk. One elder among them stepped forward, his tone wary. "Human, why are you helping us?" Yi Tianming tossed the king's severed head to the ground. "Because Lafta is my enemy too. This is all the proof you need." The merfolk stared wide-eyed at the head. That's the tyrant's head. No doubt about it. After all he did to our people, finally, vengeance. The elder bowed respectfully. "Brave adventurer, I am Delner, elder of the merfolk. This is my granddaughter, Kraka, our tribe's high priestess. You have avenged our greatest hatred. We are in your debt." He continued solemnly. "Our people have lived in the fjords north of Lafta for generations, guarding a sacred relic of immense power. But the Empire learned of its existence. They poisoned our waters, captured our kin, and tortured us relentlessly, all to uncover the relic's secret." Yi Tianming pulled out the mysterious box he had been carrying and held it up to the merfolk elder. "Is this the relic you're talking about?" The elder's expression shifted dramatically the moment he saw it. The energy radiating from this box. It's unmistakably the relic. But why is it in your possession? Could it be? "I took it after I killed the emperor," Yi Tianming said flatly. "Now the entire city's military is after us. You said this relic holds great power. Can it help us escape? The merfolk elder opened the box slowly. I will try, but my power is limited. I can only awaken a fraction of its strength. As the lid lifted, a system notification echoed in Yi Tianming's mind / unknown item unlocked. Soul crystal of the vast sea. A shard imbued with the light of origin. Grants control over oceanic magic. Requirements: merfolk lineage or hut. Staring at the glowing crystal, Yi Tianming furrowed his brows. This soul crystal, aside from the color, why does it feel so similar to my dark source fragment? The elder knelt and began to chant, "O great goddess of the sea, lend us your noble power. Guide your lost believers to freedom." Instantly, streams of water spiraled into existence around the soul crystal, forming a magical current in midair. But the moment of awe was shattered by the sound of heavy boots thundering down the corridor. The young academy student sprinted toward them, breathless. "Bad news, boss. We've been found. They're closing in fast." The elder turned swiftly. "Adventurer, I just confirmed it. This dungeon's water supply is connected to the city's main waterway. I've already opened a secret path using my water-bending magic." The merfolk elder stepped forward solemnly. "You must go now. We'll hold them off. For all you've done for our people, we'll buy you time, no matter the cost." Yi Tianming glanced back at the merfolk. Among them were the elderly, the wounded, and innocent children. His voice rang with conviction. "Get the women and children out first. As for the trash from Rafta Empire, they're not qualified to stop me." The young academy student beside him was in awe. "You're incredible, big bro. I'm staying too. We'll hold the line together." Suddenly, a massive imperial army charged in. At the front, the newly crowned king pointed furiously. "So it's you two, the ones who killed my father? You thought you could hide? How dare you stand before your new emperor without kneeling? Prepare to die." Yi Tianming summoned his undead army and smirked. "You here to thank me? After all, I saved you 30 years of backstabbing and court politics to get the throne. Or are you just eager to reunite with your dear OL dad?" The young emperor clenched his fists in fury. "A necromancer? No wonder the royal guards failed. But now I have tens of thousands of soldiers. Let's see who has the bigger army. Kill them all," he roared. "Tear them limb from limb." Meanwhile, in the distance, the merfolk elder and his granddaughter Clacka watched the chaos unfold. The girl tugged on his sleeve, panicked. "Grandfather, we need to go." But the old man remained calm. "Go? This water source doesn't lead to the outside. Beneath it lies only a sealed underground cavern." His eyes grew heavy as he looked at Clacka. "Do you know why we've guarded the soul crystal of the vast sea for generations? Because aside from our own kind, there's only one other way to activate its power: blood sacrifice. The lives of merfolk offered to fuel the crystal's magic." The elder's voice turned grim. "If this soul crystal falls into the wrong hands, our people will become nothing more than expendable fuel. Even the hidden branches of our kind scattered across the world would face extinction. Now that the artifact has been exposed, we no longer have the power to protect it. There's only one we can entrust it to, that adventurer. So I gave him two choices. If he chose the path of fear, I would bury everyone here along with the soul crystal. I wouldn't know where its power might end up, but at least I could delay the fall of our race. But to my surprise, he chose to fight. Not for gain, not for glory, but for justice. Such noble spirit is worth our trust. With him, there is still hope for the merfolk." Clacka stared at her grandfather in panic. "You're placing the fate of our entire race into one adventurer's hands." Just then, the system prompt echoed once more. Current layer: 2. Resters beneath the abyss. Time remaining: 8 minutes 35 seconds. In the midst of battle, Yi Tianming fought with all his might. But he could feel it. His mana was nearly depleted, and the undead army was barely holding together. Worse yet, time was running out fast. Seeing the merfolk still hadn't left, he roared, "Why are you still here? I can't hold on much longer." The elder called back, his voice filled with resolve. "Adventurer, I will send you out now. Promise me you'll take care of my granddaughter. Then, Yi Tianming witnessed a scene he would never forget. The merfolk elder drew his blade and shouted, "Warriors of the sea, with me, offer your loyalty to the great goddess of the ocean." And in one tragic, thunderous motion, he and the merfolk began to take their own lives. "Grandfather, no!" Klaka's voice echoed through the chamber, her scream filled with agony. The blood ritual had begun. The sea soul crystal drew in the lifeblood of the sacrificing merfolk. The crystal in Klaka's hands began to glow a haunting blue, and a system interface appeared. Activation progress, 18.18%. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled violently. Cracks tore through the stone walls, and with a deafening roar, water burst in from all directions, flooding the chamber in an instant. Yi Tianming was overwhelmed, dragged beneath the rising tide. His lungs burned. He was on the verge of drowning. Just then, a figure swam toward him. It was Klaka. Without hesitation, she kissed him, transferring oxygen from her mouth to his. During the kiss, system alerts chimed in rapid succession. Affinity with merfolk girl Klaka increased to 50. Klaka has shared her first milk with you. You have acquired the Holy Sea bloodline. New skill unlocked / breath of water. You and Sirena Klaka have now synchronized character information. Moments later, Klaka dragged him to the shore. Yi Tianming lay weakly in her arms, barely conscious, blushing as he gazed up at her. When he finally came to, he stood up and looked around, completely disoriented. Klaka whispered, "Yes, this is what remains of the Laughter Empire. What once was a glorious empire now lay beneath an endless sea." As Yi Tianming took in the flooded ruins, the ancient prophecy rang in his mind. The gods cast down an ocean of wrath. All returns to silence beneath the abyss. Oh, that was the truth. The prophecy wasn't just a tale, it was a warning. And now, he understood why this land was erased from history. Just then, a young merfolk child came bouncing over, holding a bouquet of flowers. "Big brother, thank you for saving us. Here, this is for you." Watching the little one leave, Klaka spoke softly, "Yi Tianming, your courage has kept the last spark of our bloodline alive. Everyone is deeply grateful." Yi Tianming scratched his head awkwardly. "I just did what I had to do to survive." Klaka blushed slightly. "You're far kinder than you admit. As you've seen, our clan no longer has the strength to protect the Sea Soul Crystal. But you're the one we all agreed to entrust it to." She pulled out the ornate box and held it out to him. "Don't forget, you now carry merfolk blood. You can wield its power, and I'll stay by your side until every secret spell is passed on." Her gaze locked with his. "So will you accept this power?" Suddenly, the other academy student burst in. "Big bro, you can't do this." The moment ruined, Yi Tianming glared at him. "You're still alive? Damn shame." The student leaned in and whispered, "Listen, it's one thing to fail the mission and leave empty-handed. But if we keep that artifact for ourselves, it's considered treason. The organization will hunt us to the ends of the earth." His tone darkened. "Unless we pretend to accept it now and hand it in later. What do you think?" A system alert interrupted the tense moment. "You have cleared Layer 2, those who rest beneath the abyss. Hidden objective completed. Layer 3 will adapt to your chosen path. New mission parameters will be generated." Yi Tianming fell into deep thought. This wasn't just about the next challenge. It was about the future of his entire legacy. But soon his eyes sharpened. "If not for the sacrifice of the merfolk, I'd be dead already. This power, I'll carry it. It's my duty." He clenched his fists. "As for the organization, if they dare come for me, then they've signed their own death warrant." Outside the trial, instructor stood before her class and spoke with conviction. "Class, you may have started as yellow-ranked assassins and been placed in my ordinary division, but don't lose hope. 3 commoners just like you, Yi Tianming, Ji Huanyan, and Tang Wenjie, have made it through the first trial with nothing but grit and willpower. That's why," she continued with passion, "no matter your background, there's always a chance to rise. Today's class division is not the end. In the future, there will be second transitions, even third. Nothing is set in stone, so never give up on yourself. Hearing Ms. Ann's uplifting words, the previously discouraged students were suddenly filled with hope, their spirits reignited as if they saw their own bright future. At that moment, Zhang Feiyu began clapping in support. Teacher N is absolutely right. And with the second trial about to end, let's all pray that those three can return safely. Just then, the familiar hum of teleportation echoed. A group of well-dressed, noble students returned from the trial. Zhang Feiyu's expression tightened with urgency. Only you few made it back? What happened to the others? The noble students exchanged glances and laughed smugly. Teacher, what kind of question is that? Who else would come back besides us? Exactly. Of course it's young Master Lu who breezed through it. Look at the shock on the teachers' faces. Must be because they never expected Lu Xiao to pass the second trial so easily. But just as they finished gloating, a snort of laughter came from the crowd. A commoner student had let out a chuckle. One noble student snapped, grabbing the commoner by the collar. You filthy rat! What are you laughing at? The commoner sneered without fear. Your so-called pride is built on stepping on us commoners. But the ones you look down on, 3 of us, have already cleared the second trial. We've reached heights you can't even dream of. Your little act, strutting around like you're superior, is nothing short of clownish. Honestly, it's laughable. The noble's face twisted with rage as he raised his fist. You dare spread lies to tarnish the reputation of the 4 great clans? Insult us again, and I'll beat you to death. Just before the punch landed, a chain lashed out and locked his arm midair. How dare you raise a hand against my student? A voice snapped. It was Ms. N standing firmly between the two. She had personally restrained the noble's attack and stood with her arms crossed, gaze icy. What kind of noble hits a classmate just because they can't handle the truth? The noble students were livid. Say that again. I dare you. Just because you're a teacher doesn't mean we won't put you in your place. Ms. N didn't back down an inch. You, born into privilege and granted every advantage, should be role models in the assassin path. Yet here you are, arrogant, lazy, and complacent. You've been surpassed by students with no background, no resources, and you still dare to call yourselves elite? Getting smug, overreaching a mere Xian rank? How pathetic. You're not a joke because others mock you. You're a joke because you've made yourselves one. Shall we continue with the next batch? The elite heirs were furious. They couldn't accept that mere commoners could rival them. Wait a minute, one of them shouted. We haven't even lost yet. So what if those 3 peasants passed the second trial? Without proper preparation, there's no way they'll survive the third. The group burst into laughter. Exactly. They're basically dead men walking. Dead men don't even count as yellow-ranked assassins. How can they possibly compare to us? The 2 instructors were left speechless. You're hopeless, one of them snapped. But she knew in her heart, the third trial truly was deadly. To pass. The candidates had to carry the relic across the treacherous Gallon Marsh and deliver it to the organization. Failure meant certain death. Meanwhile, deep inside the Gallon Marsh, in the organization's war council chamber, the assassin leader slammed his fist down in rage. Damn that traitor, Yi Tianming. He's slipperier than we thought. We've lost contact with all 5 kill squads we sent after him. We can't even track his movements. He turned to the other assassins seated in the room. Any ideas? Speak. A hooded man stepped forward. With all due respect, sir, Yi Tianming is only level 10. Are we overreacting? If we keep pushing this hard, it might backfire. But the leader cut him off coldly. He must die. The item he holds is too important to let slip away. The hooded assassin nodded thoughtfully. Word is Yi Tianming holds grudges and never lets things go. Now that the organization is hunting him down, I bet he's hiding nearby, waiting to strike when we least expect it. He's probably planning a surprise attack, right under our noses. His theory sparked agreement across the room. He's got a point, someone said. This guy might actually be a genius. Without hesitation, the leader barked out his order. All assassins under elder rank. Mobilize immediately. Sweep every checkpoint, every stronghold. Leave no stone unturned. I want him brought to me. The entire chamber stood at once, answering in unison, yes, sir. Just as the hooded assassin was about to leave, the leader stopped him. Hold on. You did well today. Name your reward. The organization always pays its debts. The hooded man calmly closed the door behind him. Then he took off his hood, revealing his true identity. It was Yi Tianming. I don't need a reward, he said coolly. But I am very curious about your organization's top secret files. The assassin leader's face twisted in shock. Yi Tianming, it's you. But a second later, he burst into laughter. Ha ha, are you insane or just arrogant? You went through all that trouble just to face the strongest assassin in the organization alone. Yi Tianming leaned his head on one hand, completely unimpressed. What else would I be here for? You lot are trapped rats. Honestly, I was more worried about the guys outside that door. You? None of you are walking out of here alive. A green-robed assassin whispered to the leader, Sir, this kid's acting way too smug. You think he messed with our wine? The leader scoffed, clearly annoyed. Huh, I'm a level 30 dual-class Venom Fong assassin. If I couldn't taste poison, do you think some level 10 rookie could outsmart me? The room filled with laughter and renewed confidence. He's bluffing. Hand over the relic, and maybe we'll give you a quick death. Trying to scare us with a fake poison? Nice try, kid. You're out of tricks. But Yi Tianming simply smiled. I have to admit, not bad. You figure I tamper with the wine. Too bad that little realization won't save you. Since you're all about to die anyway, let me show you what I really came here for. Yi Tianming raised his hand and summoned the Hanhai Soul Crystal. The assassin leader's eyes widened in shock. This was the very artifact he had been desperately searching for. To be precise, the item was known as the Hanhai Soul Crystal, a relic said to contain the power of the ocean itself. Why Yi Tianming had picked up a trick while passing through the Jialan Marsh. Any liquid he had touched within the past 10 minutes, he could control at will. With a cold stare, he clenched the crystal tightly and activated its power. Instantly, a wave of coughing broke out among the assassins. One of them started vomiting water uncontrollably. He collapsed to his knees, eyes bulging as water enveloped his head, and within seconds he suffocated to death. The leader paled in horror. Realizing things had gone terribly wrong, he tried to retreat, but it was far too late. Every assassin in the room had already fallen into Yi Tianming's trap. Sitting calmly in the leader's chair, Yi Tianming watched the chaos unfold with ice in his eyes. No one's walking out of here alive. He summoned his undead army, then walked toward the paralyzed leader. Do you know why you're still breathing? Because you haven't told me what secret this relic is hiding. The leader, defeated and broken, spat back. Kill me. Even if I talk, I'm as good as dead. But Yi Tianming only chuckled. Who said I was going to kill you? There are things far worse than death, like the suffocating panic before your lungs burst, or the kind of despair that makes you wish you were dead. A wicked smile crept across his face. Don't worry, we've got plenty of time. I'll make sure you experience every last second of it. Finally, the assassin leader cracked under pressure. His voice trembled as he confessed. 3 months ago, our organization received a commission to retrieve the artifact. I thought it was just another routine job, so I passed it down to my subordinates. But after you escaped with the relic and the client came knocking, that's when I realized we've crossed a force far beyond anything I imagined. Yi Tianming narrowed his eyes. Who are they? But before the answer came, the assassin leader suddenly vanished before his eyes. Yi Tianming spun around, alert. A second later, the man reappeared. Only this time, he was dead. Instincts flaring, Yi Tianming immediately sensed danger. Was there someone else in the room? Then it hit him. Wait, that wasn't teleportation. That was a spatial seal, followed by a release. Just like the one I used against the undead mage Roland back in the starter village. The dark origin shard. His expression darkened. Someone outside the room had used a similar fragment. Of that he was sure. The killer had already fled, leaving no trace. But their urgency to silence the assassin leader, it meant one thing. They were linked to the very force the leader had feared. Yi Tianming gazed down at the dark origin shard he now possessed, obtained deep within the elven secret realm. So the goblin plot against the elves was also orchestrated by them. Unbelievable. a shadowy power that spans centuries, and I know nothing about them. But from what they've done to the Mare folk and the elves, there's no doubt they're monsters. Looking up toward the sky of the inheritance realm, Yi Tianming clenched his fists. This world, this continent, it's the only place I've ever truly belonged, and I won't let anyone destroy that peace. Once I leave this realm, I'll uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Then came the system prompt. Current stage, Layer 3, Betrayer in the Sands. Remaining time, 15 minutes and 15 seconds. Yi Tianming knew it was time to wrap up this trial. The truth behind the mysterious force awaited outside. As he stepped out of the council chamber, he found a large number of assassins already assembled. The yellow-robed man at the front didn't even glance up. "Sir, you arrived just in time. All forces are ready. We can begin the hunt for the traitor Yi Tianming." Then he looked up and froze in terror. "Yes," Yi Tianming said calmly. "The traitor you're looking for is me." The assassins gasped. "Yi Tianming, what are you doing here? Where's the leader? The elders?" With a casual shrug, he stepped aside. "Don't panic. Look, they're all right behind me." Shock rippled through the crowd. "No, the leader and the elders, they're all dead. You did this. That's impossible. You're alone. How could you possibly?" Yi Tianming's gaze was cold. "I have the artifact now. With its power, your so-called strongest warriors were nothing. If any of you still want revenge, step forward. But remember, your lives belong to you. The glory belongs to the organization." His words sent chills down their spines. No one dared to move. "Looks like you get it now," he said. "I'm not some bloodthirsty killer. Leave the organization. Leave the Garan Marsh. Do that, and I'll let you live. You have 3 minutes. After that, don't blame me for what comes next." That was all it took. The crowd broke into chaos as every assassin turned and fled. Yi Tianming smirked as he watched them scatter. "Cowards. If they had all charged at once, I'd be dead. That, my friends, is what real bluffing looks like." As Yi Tianming sat on the stone steps catching his breath, the male classmate in Klako arrived, clearly having rushed there. The male student practically collapsed at Yi Tianming's feet in awe. "Bro, that was insane. We saw everyone fleeing and decided to sneak back in. And you actually took down the entire organization by yourself? You're a legend. Come on, give me a big OL hug." Mwah. Disgusted, Yi Tianming silently manipulated the fluids in the guy's body to seal his mouth. "Enough. That's just disturbing." Klako approached, admiration glowing in her eyes. "Now I understand why you push yourself so hard. Mastering all those water spells I taught you in such a short time. You had it all planned. Such talent and determination. I've never seen anything like it. Entrusting the Hanhai Soul Crystal to you was the right choice." Her cheeks flushed as she continued. "Now no one will dare lay hands on the Soul Crystal, at least not for a while. I hope peace follows you always." Then she sighed wistfully. "If only you were a merman, I'd bear 100 little mare babies with you." Yi Tianming cut her off with a serious look. "This isn't over. The real force behind the Hanhai Soul Crystal isn't the Assassin's Guild. It's something far more dangerous. They remain hidden in the shadows, never revealing themselves. But I'm certain they'll strike again, using others as pawns." The male classmate turned pale. "Then what are we waiting for? Bro, where do we go next?" Just then, a system prompt interrupted. "You have cleared stage 3, Betrayer in the Sands. Profession unlocked, Celestial Assassin. Transfer countdown, 30 seconds. You will be transported out of the inheritance realm once the countdown ends." As soon as Yi Tianming saw the system prompt, he frowned. "Seriously? A Sky-tier assassin? I completed a hidden quest. Shouldn't I be getting something way more epic? This is so stingy." Then, he turned to the male student beside him and said something cryptic. "You asked where I'm heading next, right? Well, maybe trade me a better reward, and I'll tell you. After all, you are the master of this inheritance realm, aren't you?" Both the male student and Kraka flinched at his words. The boy's eyes darkened, but then he gave a mysterious little smile. System prompt. "You've cleared floor 3, Traitor Among the Sand. Acquired class, Sky-tier Assassin. Countdown, 1 second. You will now be teleported out." Meanwhile, on the other side, one of the noble students was also enveloped in red light and sent out. "Ha ha, I did it. Earth tier assassin, baby. First place is mine. He raised his arms triumphantly. You lowlifes better kneel right now. If you're lucky, I might just let you follow me. But as he looked around, something felt off. Hey, what's with those faces? You should be worshiping me. I'm an Earth tier assassin. A chubby student pointed behind him. Young Master Lu, you might want to turn around. He turned and froze. Two commoner students were also glowing with Earth tier assassin status. What? That's impossible. His face twisted. Those two nobodies, they got the same rank as me. One of his noble buddies tried to calm him down. Maybe let's keep a low profile for now. Honestly, this is a pretty embarrassing day for us nobles. Shut up. Lu roared and slapped the guy across the face. Speak for yourself. I'm not the one who lost face here. You are. Then he stormed over to the instructors. Look, sure, they made it to floor 3 like me, but they're way more injured. That means I still scored higher. Right, Teacher Zhang? Teacher Zhang looked conflicted. But another teacher, Mizzen, chuckled. Oh? And who told you you're first place? There's still one more commoner student who hasn't come out yet. His name's Yi Tianming. Suddenly, the girl who had registered alongside Yi Tianming spoke up. Teacher, that Yi Tianming you mentioned, is he the guy who signed up with me at the very end? Mizzen glanced at the enrollment form and nodded. Looks like it. You two were the last names on the registration list. The girl's eyes lit up with joy. He's still alive. Thank goodness. But then a thought struck her. Why was she so relieved? They'd only met once, so why did she care so much? Lu scoffed. That can't be right. Even if that kid passed the 3rd stage, he should have been teleported out the same time as me. The girl immediately fired back. Didn't you hear what the teacher said about a hidden tier? Yi Tianming must have entered a secret level. Lu burst out laughing. Him? Enter a hidden stage? Don't make me laugh. That's just a myth. No one's ever proven it exists. Still smirking, he turned to Teacher Zhang. Honestly, I bet Yi Tianming's already dead. Vaporized. That's why his body didn't even come out. Let's just shut the inheritance realm down and end this farce already. No way, the girl shouted, stepping forward. Don't think I don't see through you. You nobles can't stand it when a commoner outshines you. If you force the trial to end now, all of Yi Tianming's efforts will be wasted. She pointed straight at Lu. Fine, let's make a bet. I'll wager my ranking reward that Yi Tianming will return victorious. Do you have the guts to take that bet? Count me in too, another commoner yelled. This is everything I've got. 10 gold coins. More voices rose up from the crowd of commoners, eyes blazing with anger. We believe in Yi Tianming. We believe that the power to change our fate doesn't belong to arrogant nobles like you. Even if we lose, we'll lose with pride, because we're sick of your smug faces. Young Master Lu laughed angrily. Fine, then we'll wager our ranking rewards too. This bet, us nobles accept it. I'll wait right here for an hour. I want to see with my own eyes how you fools who dare to challenge the upper class end up completely crushed. The girl turned toward the teleportation array with a soft sigh. Deep down, she prayed silently, Yi Tianming, please come back safe. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming exposed the identity of a male student, only for him to lift the disguise, revealing a stunning woman with a seductive figure. She smiled and said, My name is Ji Shuriwei. I created this legacy realm while I was alive. After death, I seal my soul here. Tell me, how did you figure it out? Yi Tianming replied calmly. I once found fragments of history related to the Latha Empire. From that, I deduced this so-called legacy realm is actually a forgotten chapter of the past. Everything here, people, places, is reconstructed from the memories of someone who lived through it. The path I walked is the exact path he once walked. His expression grew more thoughtful. But one thing still doesn't make sense. In such a dangerous environment, why would the memory's owner allow a greedy, unreliable teammate to stay by their side? If it were me, I would have eliminated that threat right away. No room for risk. That's when Yi Tianming came to a bold realization. There were never any real teammates to begin with. The memory's owner, the creator of this legacy realm, had faced everything alone. So then, who was this teammate who shouldn't even exist, yet have been watching his every move? Isn't the answer obvious? At that moment, Krako appeared behind Ji Shuriwe. Turns out, they had known each other all along. Krako stuck out her tongue playfully. Come on, Sisyu, it's your fault. Your acting totally gave you away backslash. Oh please, Miss Krako, like you did any better backslash, Ji Shuriwe teased. Krako blinked in surprise. She had thought her disguise was flawless. Wait, how did you see through me? Yi Tianming's face flushed slightly as he recalled their earlier kiss. If I'm not mistaken, you're a real merfolk, aren't you? No memory construct could possibly awaken an actual merfolk bloodline in me. Ji Shuriwe rose and gently patted Krako's head. Nothing gets past you, huh? Krako is indeed real. Merfolk live far longer than I ever did. She always worried about my soul being lonely in here. So she kept sneaking into the realm to keep me company and took on the role of Memory Krako while she was at it. Guess you could call it a method performance. Ji Siyuet turned to Yi Tianming, her gaze sincere. You've exceeded all my expectations. Now, for your final test, think carefully, where did we escape to back then? Recreate the journey. Finish the story that history has long forgotten. And just then, the system prompt chimed in frowny face inherited class. Sky tier assassin. Cancelled. Layer 3. Betrayers in the sand. Mission updated. Special objective. Restore the lost history. Timer. Unlimited. Yi Tianming smiled confidently. Let's go. I already know where the path leads. What followed felt like a fleeting dream. They journeyed through dense jungles, scaled frozen mountains, and crossed vast wastelands. At last, at the edge of the desert storm, they arrived. A small spring shimmered in the sand, an oasis hidden deep within the barren lands. Yi Tianming raised his hand, summoning the Hanhai Soul Crystal. It hovered in his palm, glowing with the power of the sea. He looked at Clarika, now swimming freely in the spring. Who would have thought the power of water was hidden here in the heart of a desert? Ji Siyue turned to Clarika. Go on ahead. I have something to say to Yi Tianming alone. She smiled at him. You figured it out, haven't you? This place is the birthplace of Cold Pool City. Her voice turned nostalgic. Back then, wanderers gathered here for the water. Slowly, it grew into a settlement, a city. I stayed behind, raised 4 orphans, and taught them everything I knew. Those 4 founded what you now know as the Assassin's League. But I knew the ones who covet the soul crystal wouldn't stop. Sooner or later, this place would be found. That's why I built this inheritance realm, to find someone worthy to inherit the Hanhai Soul Crystal. She looked at him with gentle seriousness. You might think this test was too cruel for a level 10 rookie. After all, I was already level 30 when I faced it. But understand this. The enemies we face are growing stronger by the day. The one I choose to succeed me must far surpass who I once was. Centuries flew by. Cold Pool City, once a hidden desert spring, had grown into a thriving metropolis. But beneath the surface, something stirred. Jise turned to Yi Tianming, eyes solemn. They've found this place. That mysterious force, it's closing in. Time is running out. But before it's too late, I finally found you. She gripped his hand tightly. This is your last chance to walk away. Are you sure you want to inherit the Soul Crystal's power? If you accept it, you'll be dragged into a battle against forces far more dangerous than this realm. With your potential, you could have taken a safer path. Maybe even reached the peak of the Endless Continent. Yi Tianming simply smiled. Didn't I already answer that when Clarika asked? Rest assured, when I make a promise, I keep it, no matter what it costs me. Suddenly, Ji Siyue pulled him into an embrace. Why Yi Tianming's face flushed. What kind of trial is this? Using beauty as a test? That's cheating. She pouted playfully. The boys these days don't know how good they've got it. Then her tone turned serious. By the way, the crystal you saw in this realm was just a memory. The real Hanhai Soul Crystal is hidden in Cold Pool City itself. And I think you already know where. As her body began to fade, she smiled gently. It's time. My long wait is over. This short journey with you was the most meaningful moment of my afterlife. Before she vanished completely, she reached out to ruffle his hair. Oh, And when you see Clarika again, be sure to give her a little comfort for me, okay? Then came a flurry of system notifications, frowny face, layer 3 complete. Betrayers in the sand. The soul of the realm's creator has dispersed and become inheritance energy. Hidden class, unlocked, sovereign assassin, advanced hidden assassin branch, plus 150% skill boost across all assassin classes, can learn all assassin type skills display class, sky tier assassin to outsiders. First class advancement complete, level cap released, stored EXP released, current level 12. Back outside the trial grounds, Lu Xiao checked the time, laughing smugly. Well, 1 hour's up. Looks like your little underdog hero isn't coming back. You all lose. He turned to the girl with a sneer. Especially you. Do you even realize how valuable your ranking reward was? That was your only shot at crawling out of the mud. This world isn't some fairy tale. You really thought a nobody could rise above their class? What a joke. Throwing away your future for a hopeless dream. Utterly pathetic. Lu Xiao raised his hand and scoffed. That's enough. Professor Zhang, please shut the trial down. Professor Zhang Feiyu sighed, walking toward the terminal. Teacher, throughout history, this trial has produced countless prodigies. But never something like this. We both know what's happening. There's no point dragging this out, that let's not waste everyone's time. But just as she reached for the switch, a blinding golden light burst out of the portal. The crowd shielded their eyes, struggling to see through the glow. And from the golden radiance, a lone figure stepped forth. Yi Tianming, radiating like a god, descending from the heavens. The girl from before gasped with joy. It's him, Yi Tianming. He's alive. Lu Xiao trembled, pointing a shaky finger at the figure. Why, you didn't die in there. Professor Zhang's eyes widened in disbelief. Yi Tianming, did you actually enter the legendary hidden stage? But Yi Tianming shook his head calmly. No, Professor. I didn't. Zhang Feiyu inspected him. Sky tier assassin, it's not a hidden class. She narrowed her eyes. There's no proof he went to the hidden stage. Still, she pressed further. But you did clear the 3rd layer, and the portal closed over an hour ago. That if you weren't in the hidden stage, why are you just now returning? Yi Tianming laughed it off. Oh, that? I accidentally finished the 2nd stage in just 10 minutes. I guess the system gave me an extra hour for the 3rd as a bonus. Professor Zhang raised an eyebrow. A bonus timer? It was a clever answer, and impossible to verify. The realm only opens once a year. She had no choice but to nod. Fine. When you get a chance, submit a full report of your 2nd stage route. Yi Tianming smiled politely. Of course, Professor. But deep inside, his thoughts turned grim. Thank goodness GCU hit my real class. If that shadowy force is truly targeting Coldpool City, then Assassin Academy might already be compromised. If they realize the soul crystal lies within the hidden stage, I'm done for. That's when instructor and walked over with a box in her hands. Yi Tianming, congratulations. You're the first sky tier assassin we've seen in nearly a decade, and the undisputed top scorer of this year's entrance trials. Here's your reward. As Yi Tianming opened the box, his eyes lit up with joy. A golden treasure chest, a stack of gold coins, and more importantly, skill exchange vouchers, just what he needed. First tier skill exchange vouchers, Assassin Academy. X10 with these, he could enter the Academy's secret archives and exchange them for first-tier assassin skills. As a Royal Apex Assassin, he had the unique ability to learn every assassin skill in existence. And as he leveled up, he'd eventually be able to combine skills from multiple branches, an edge that would only grow stronger with time. But to reach that level, he first needed a solid foundation, tons of basic assassin skills to build upon. These vouchers? Absolutely priceless. Just then, Yi Tianming noticed instructor and handing 2 boxes to the girl from earlier. His eyes twitched. Wait, what? 2 rewards? That's when he finally learned her name, Ji Huanyan. Turned out, one of her rewards was from the wager she won. That eased Yi Tianming's jealousy a bit, but the little gold digger in his heart still whispered, Hey, since you technically won thanks to me, shouldn't I get a little cut? Ji Huanyan laughed. Come on, all I got was a bronze chest and a skill card. Nothing compared to your mountain of gold. Don't be greedy. Yi Tianming smirked. Don't worry, I'm not eyeing your stuff. But those spoiled brats who wish me dead, pretty sure they're still holding on to some sweet loot. And now that they're mentally crushed, it's the perfect time to cash in. Then he raised his voice on purpose. Man, I must have gotten lucky. That bonus hour in Stage 3 totally bugged the system. I crossed the entire Garan swamp without seeing a single monster. His voice echoed across the courtyard, and Lu Xiao looked like he was about to explode. Yi Tianming wasn't done yet. With a sly grin, he added, Man, poor Lu Xiao. If it weren't for that bug, first place would have been his. He must be devastated right now. Lu Xiao exploded with rage, slamming his fist into the ground. Did you all hear that? Because of this filthy commoner's dumb luck, we lost the ranking rewards that were practically ours. I've had enough. He stood up abruptly, pointing at Yi Tianming with trembling fingers. Yi Tianming, I, Lu Mang, officially challenge you to a forced duel. I'll give you one chance to surrender. Hand over your rewards, and I might spare you a few broken bones. Yi Tianming's smirk deepened. Hook, line, and sinker. But before he could respond, some of the commoner's students stepped forward. Back off, Lu Xiao. Shameless. Yi Tianming, don't do it. You earned that reward fair and square. Don't fall into his trap. Instructor stepped in, expression calm yet firm. Yi Tianming, I'm afraid you don't have a choice. At Assassin Academy, every student is allowed to issue one force challenge per month, even to someone ranked higher. Refusal is not an option. This rule exists to encourage ambition and overall improvement. Yi Tianming shrugged. Fair enough. If those are the rules, I accept. But Lu Xiao, you think I'd surrender without a fight? If you want my rewards, then put something on the line that actually interests me. Show me your sincerity. Lu Xiao pulled off a silver necklace from around his neck. This is our Lu family heirloom, a movement-boosting pendant that increases speed by 5%. I'd say that a worthy wager, wouldn't you? Yi Tianming stared at the necklace, and suddenly, memories from his past life came flooding back. That design, that aura, he'd seen it before. In the Endless Continent, loot from chests and monsters always comes with fixed stats. Only gear forged by craftsmen varies depending on their skills and artistry, and the very best among them are called legendary divine smiths. In his previous life, Yi Tianming had searched every corner of the world. Only once, by sheer chance, did he acquire a weapon made by one such smith from her descendant. Every smith leaves behind a unique sigil, and the engraving on this necklace? He recognized it instantly, the mark of a divine smith. But why had such a masterpiece fallen so low? Broken, dusty, and embedded with a cheap gem? This was blasphemy. Yi Tianming scoffed, faking disdain. That worthless trinket? You want to bet my first place reward with that? You must be dreaming. Lu Mang's face turned red. Crap. He knows what it is. Damn it, he thought. This necklace may be a family heirloom, but it's not actually worth much. That's why it got passed down to me. Panicked, Lu Mang turned to the other noble students. All of you, hand over your savings. If I win this, I'll split the prize. This is our last shot at redemption. Soon, he came back with a pouch full of gold. 100 gold coins. That's more than most of you peasants will ever make in a lifetime. That enough for you, Yi Tianming. Yi Tianming eyed the bag, then smiled lazily. Fine. You're rich and stupid. Guess I'll humor you. Just then, a few fellow commoner students ran up to him. Yi Tianming, promise us, if things get dangerous, walk away. Don't push yourself. Yeah, losing the prize is nothing. But if you get seriously hurt, your future could be ruined. Just stay safe, all right? Their concern warmed his heart. Yi Tianming sneered. Too late for surrender now. Lu Mang grinned smugly. You think this is a game? In forced duels, surrender isn't an option, unless the opponent agrees. Otherwise, it's fight until someone's completely incapacitated. No retreat. No mercy. The other elite students chimed in mockingly. Yi Tianming, looks like you're finally coughing up that lucky win. Our Lu Mang's got the beginner god skill, Gale Step. His family spared no expense. That skill, combined with his gem-boosted necklace, he's basically lightning fast. You're doomed. Lu Mang summoned his weapon, eyes gleaming with malice. I gave you a chance to surrender and walk away, but now, someone's leaving here with broken bones. With a shout, he activated Gale's step and shot toward Yi Tianming like a missile. But in the next instant, Yi Tianming casually grabbed his wrist mid-charge. This is your so-called ultimate speed? Yi Tianming laughed softly. You've got to be kidding me. You're not even worth drawing my weapon for. The crowd of elite students looked on in shock. Wait, what just happened? It's over already. Lu Meng broke into a cold sweat. His wrist throbbed with pain, he couldn't move it. That's when he realized. Yi Tianming had lured him in on purpose. Trembling, Lu Meng pleaded, Why Yi Tianming? I surrender. Take the reward, just let me go. Yi Tianming's expression darkened. Surrender? Don't tell me you forgot what you said earlier. As a noble heir, you should keep your word. You said broken bones, so broken bones it is. With a sharp twist, Lu Meng's arm cracked. He howled in pain. Ah, my arm. The crackling sound of bone breaking echoed through the air. The elite students froze, pale with fear. No one dared make a sound. Lu Meng lay on the ground, his limbs twisted in pain. Yi Tianming crouched beside him with a mocking smile. Since you're having trouble moving, I'll help you out. As the winner, I'll gladly collect this gold coin and gemstone necklace on your behalf. Watching their prized possessions get looted, the elite students turned pale. We're doomed. All our family heirlooms gone. We got nothing left. How are we supposed to explain this to our families? Lu Meng, barely conscious, pleaded desperately. Help someone help me. Yi Tianming stood tall with the loot in hand, giving the crowd a chilling stare. So, anyone else feeling brave enough to stand up for him? Terrified, the elite students bolted in every direction. One of them even kicked Lu Meng on the way out to distance himself. Don't drag me down. Yi Tianming smirked. So this is the pure noble brotherhood of the elite? What a touching display. Truly opened my eyes today. The commoner students swarmed around, cheering with excitement. Yi Tianming, who knew you were hiding so much strength? That was incredible. You really put those arrogant nobles in their place. From now on, you're our boss. Meanwhile, Instructor Zhang Feiyu observed in silence, her mind racing. His strength is far beyond any student I've seen at this level. If he really passed the second trial by sheer luck, then why is he so strong? Could he have actually entered the hidden stage? But if so, why would he hide it? This student is dangerous. Instructor and clapped her hands to gather everyone's attention. All right, everyone, that wraps up the entrance test. Classes start tomorrow, so head back to your dorms and get some rest. Time to assign rooms. She turned to the top scorers. Yi Tianming, Ji Huanyan, you two will be roommates. Here's your key. Ji Huanyan's face turned red. Instructor, is there no option for a single room? Instructor and looked confused. Huh, you're both guys, what's the problem? You think this is a hotel? Based on your entrance scores, I've given you two the best room in the entire academy. Ji Huanyan blushed deeply, but had no choice. She accepted the key with a shy nod, lips pressed into a thin line. Later that night, Yi Tianming sat on the edge of his dorm bed, lost in thought. Ji Huanyan, face red as a tomato, gathered her things and mumbled, I'm going to take a shower. Don't come in, okay? I'm used to bathing alone. With a grin, he opened his system interface. Time to crack open some treasure chests while I've got the room to myself. Thanks to earlier level-up rewards, he now had 2 golden treasure chests. Can't keep saving these forever. He tapped to open them both. Ding. / you've received. Golden tier weapon, Spirit Cat Dagger. Ding. / you've received. Golden tier armor, Leopard Print Heart Guard, set item. He held the Spirit Cat Dagger in his hand and beamed. Not bad. A class-specific weapon. Still need 3 more levels to equip it, but this is a keeper for sure. Then he picked up the Leopard Print Heart Guard and raised a brow. Oh, this one's a bit flashy. Definitely not my style. Might be better off giving this to Sha. It could boost her defense, and, well, she might actually look good in it. Glancing over his status panel, he nodded in satisfaction. With my current build, I should be able to take on a level 20 opponent head-on. But the thought of that shadowy force coveting the Seaborn Soul Crystal made him uneasy. What are they really after? Who are they? How strong are they really? From the moment I left the inheritance realm, I've been on their radar. Charging in a cold pool city to retrieve the real soul crystal now might be suicide. That's why Yi Tianming deliberately revealed just enough of his strength during the gamble to sow doubt. He wanted that shadowy organization to second-guess whether he'd actually entered the hidden realm. And doubt breeds mistakes. He was sure they'd secretly test him again and again. All he needed was one slip-up from them, and he'd strike first. But for now, he couldn't risk going back to Shasha. He didn't want to drag her into this. Wait, what did Ji Huanyan say earlier? A thought clicked in his head. Oh, right. She said she was going to take a bath. Now, all that I think about it, I've been grinding all day too. Time for a nice hot soak. Carrying his toiletries, Yi Tianming walked into the bathroom. Man, this dorm is insane. A private bath this luxurious? And she still complained about wanting a solo room? Ji Huanyan, should I give you a back scrub or something? The steam parted, and there she was. Ji Huanyan, completely naked, frozen in place, cheeks burning red. Yi Tianming's brain went blank. He covered his eyes way too late. His face turned crimson as realization struck him like lightning. She's a girl? Ji Huanyan rushed out, her face burning red. Don't look, she shouted in panic. But in her panic, she stepped on a wet towel and slipped. Her head hit the edge of the stone bath with a loud thud. Yi Tianming froze in shock. Oh no, did she just... He rushed over, his mind blank, shouting, Ji Huanyan, are you okay? He carefully picked her up. Thankfully, she had just fainted, nothing serious. But then it hit him. His face turned beet red. Wait, what now? Am I supposed to dry her off myself? He looked around, flustered. And where the heck are her clothes? Don't tell me she stored them in her gear space. I've got nothing to cover her with. Suddenly, he remembered. Right, the leopard print chest guard. He gently dressed her in the armor and laid her down. After a deep sigh, he mumbled, Okay, that should do it. Barely. As he looked at her face again, something clicked. Wait a minute, that's her. She's the assassin from my past life. It wasn't his memory playing tricks on him. She looked completely different now. Back then, she never spoke of her past. Her body was covered in scars. Scars he never got the story behind. But this time, fate had given them a second chance. And Yi Tianming swore to himself. He wouldn't let her suffer like that again. Just then, Yi Tianming was relieved to see her slowly waking up. Ji Huanyan's face turned crimson as she quickly pulled the blanket over herself, struggling to speak. Yi Tianming scratched his head and said playfully, Relax, I knew you'd freak out. I moved you over here with my eyes closed. I even put something clean on you so you wouldn't catch a cold. She peeked under the blanket and instantly saw the problem. That clean outfit was none other than a revealing leopard print chest guard. Her face turned bright red again. Ah, she squealed and ducked straight back under the covers, burying herself in shame. Then came her muffled voice. Teach, thank you for taking care of me. But seriously, what's with this outfit? You're not some kind of pervert, are you? Yi Tianming panicked. What? No, that's slander. I swear I'm innocent. This is legit top-tier golden gear I got from a reward chest. Sure, it looks unusual, but the stats are insane. You can check the panel yourself. He turned his head in embarrassment, muttering, Besides, I even dressed your wounds and helped you change, all with my eyes shut. I swear I didn't peek at anything I shouldn't have. Ji Huanyan slowly peeked her head out, guilt flashing across her face. I'm sorry. I overreacted. I guess it's my first time wearing a girl's outfit, so I kind of panicked. Then she suddenly grabbed his hand and looked into his eyes. Yi Tianming, what I'm about to say, I've never told anyone else. I'm actually the illegitimate daughter of the Ji family's current head. Turns out, the powerful Assassin League is ruled by 4 noble clans, Ji, Liu, Hu, and Wang. Each one represents a distinct school of assassin techniques. To maintain balance and control, they forged an ironclad rule. All core members must only marry within the 4 clans. No outsiders allowed. Ji Huanyan's father, back then still just an heir and not yet the clan leader, fell in love with a commoner woman, and she gave birth to Ji Huanyan. If word got out, it would have sparked outrage among the other clans. Her fate would have been sealed. To protect her, her father knelt in the Elder Hall for 7 days and nights. Only then did the elders reluctantly agree to let her live. The G clan then deployed their shadow guards to secretly escort her out of the city, erasing all traces of her birthright. She was raised as a commoner to ensure absolute secrecy. Even the midwife and any witnesses were silenced. And from childhood, she was made to dress as a boy. Yi Tianming frowned. But if the clan raised you in secret, you should have had all the resources you needed. You of all people know how deadly the path of a commoner assassin is. Not to mention the risk if your identity got exposed. So why put yourself through all this? Why enroll in the academy as a regular student? Ji Huanyan's expression dimmed. Because the Ji clan is in danger. Over the past 6 months, key elders in the family have been assassinated. Even my father was gravely wounded. He's still bedridden. And just days ago, 4 elite Ji clan students were mysteriously killed while attending the Assassin Academy. The official investigations found nothing, but we all know someone's targeting us. The enemy is too cunning. To uncover the truth without tipping them off, we needed someone invisible to their eyes. Someone with no presence. That's why I was chosen. Her father had once risked everything to protect her. Now, with the Ji clan in danger, there was no way she could sit back and do nothing. That's why she broke the rules and infiltrated the Assassin Academy on her own, determined to uncover whoever was working in the shadows. Hearing this, Yi Tianming finally understood everything. If my guess is right, he said slowly, the ones you're looking for are the same people I've been hunting. Ji Huanyan blinked in surprise. What makes you say that? Yi Tianming walked to the door, voice low and calm. It all started the moment I stepped into the inheritance trial. With that, he turned off the lights and began to recount the events he had faced inside the secret realm. Ji Huanyan's eyes widened in shock. You were chosen by the ancestor of assassins? Yi Tianming, you're the most unbelievable man I've ever met. Then her tone darkened. But just as you said, if they get their hands on the ocean crystal, it will shake the foundations of Cold Pool City. A full-on war with the Assassin League might be inevitable. Everything they're doing now is just to weaken us before the final battle. Yi Tianming sat down beside her, gaze steady. These enemies, they're far more dangerous than you realize. Your life will be on the line. But I swear, I'll do everything in my power to protect you. So tell me, Ji Huanyan, will you fight by my side? Hearing Yi Tianming's words, Ji Huanyan jumped to her feet, eyes shining with resolve. Yes, I'll fight with you. But in her excitement, the blanket slipped off her shoulders. Her flawless figure was suddenly on full display, and her face turned beet red. Embarrassed, she asked shyly, Yi Tianming, do all guys like seeing this kind of thing? Yi Tianming quickly waved his hands in panic. No, of course not. Oh, maybe a little. You're really pretty. Ji Huanyan gave a bashful smile, then slowly turned to him with a blush. If it makes you happy, then maybe just for today, I'll let you look a little longer. The next morning, in the academy classroom, the teacher was giving his welcome lecture. Welcome, new students, to the Assassin Academy. Once you reach your second class advancement, the assassin path will split into 4 main branches: blade arts, poison techniques, throwing weapons, and disguise. These techniques are safeguarded by the 4 great families. Our academy has 3 grades in total. Level 10 to 19 is year 1, 20 to 29 is year 2, and above level 30 is year 3. Upon completing your second advancement, you graduate and join one of the great families. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming and Ji Huanyan were fast asleep on their desks, completely passed out. One student raised their hand, confused. Wait, so we have to reach level 20 in just 5 years? That's like 4 levels per year, and we still have to attend class. Is that even possible? The teacher chuckled. Don't worry. Theory classes like this only take up half a day each week. The rest of your time will be spent in practical combat trials. The Academy provides plenty of secret realms to help you level up. I'll be taking you there shortly. By participating in the Academy's dimensional trials, students can earn points to exchange for gear, and more importantly, skill exchange vouchers. These are the only way to acquire Tier 1 skills here. Most students can only afford 1 per semester. Just as the instructor was explaining, he heard a loud snore. Furious, he snapped his chalk in half. So you must explore and test your skills through real combat and theory. Choose your path wisely. Don't waste your potential. In the next second, the broken chalk went flying, straight at Yi Tianming and Ji Huanyan. You two again. Wake up. The chalk left red welts on their foreheads. Don't think just because you're from the elite class, you can mess around here in my standard class. If you don't pay attention, you'll end up wasting your advantage, and you'll regret it. The teacher fumed inside. Damn it, ever since Yi Tianming beat the crap out of those noble brats, the elite class couldn't even run properly. So Zhang Feiyu dumped these two onto me and took a vacation. Another student smirked and teased. You guys sleep in the academy's best dorm and still look so exhausted? Don't tell me you were doing some late-night fencing. Instantly, both Yi Tianming and Ji Huanyan blushed furiously. Yi thought, damn it, I barely held myself back last night, sharing a room with a girl. How the hell was I supposed to sleep? Meanwhile, Ji Huanyan was panicking inside. Oh no, I actually took the initiative last night. How do I even face him now? The class went wild with curiosity. Two female students, in particular, had sparkling eyes. They smelled juicy gossip. Later, the class gathered in front of a towering spire. This, the instructor announced, is the Tower of Trials. Inside are recycled realms based on legendary heroes' past trials. It's the foundation of this academy, and your key to true power. The students all gasped in awe. One of them even bragged, this brings back memories. Grinding levels in reincarnation realms. Those were the days. Yi Tianming knew the truth. Unlike ordinary dungeons, reincarnation realms didn't vanish after being cleared. Instead, they reset weekly with refreshed layouts and monsters. They were the perfect training grounds. In his past life, he had spent countless sleepless nights racing between these dungeons just to level up. He never imagined he'd one day stand in a place with such abundant resources. This time, he was determined to take full advantage of it. Just then, the instructor reminded everyone, all dungeons on this floor are suitable for those under level 15. With 10-person teams, you should stand a fair chance. Since this is your first time, we've assigned senior students to help you adapt. Yi Tianming, Ji Huanyan, based on your entrance exam scores, your assigned seniors are waiting over there. Go on. The two groups exchange polite introductions. One of the seniors, Huang Tian, grumbled, Great, so we're here just to babysit these kids? What a waste of our training time. His companion, Ji Xian, countered, Don't say that. Yi Tianming is a once-in-a-decade, sky-tier assassin. His future might outshine both of ours. Huang Tian scoffed. Future? He's got to survive that long first. You know how it goes. The brightest stars often die the quickest, just like those few from your Ji clan. At those words, Yi Tianming's expression darkened. He fixed Huang Tian with a cold, silent glare. Ji Xian gently patted Yi Tianming's shoulder. Apologies. My partner lacks tact, but you two carry far more potential than the others. That also means you'll draw more fire. Once we enter the realm, stay behind us, for your own safety. He motioned for everyone to follow him into the Trial Tower's mysterious dungeon. Inside, they found themselves walking down a dim, shadowy underground corridor. Senior Ji Xian gave them a nod of approval. Not bad. Most rookies freeze up their first time here. You two held your ground. He lit a phosphor oil lamp and explained, This is a subterranean cave beneath the desert. Contrary to what you think, deserts aren't empty. Most creatures dwell deep below the surface. Just as he finished speaking, a horde of glowing blue centipedes started crawling toward them. Ji Huanyan shrieked and, terrified, jumped straight into Yi Tianming's arms. Huang Tian drew his weapon and charged at the swarm, mocking, And you praised them, Ji. This guy's scared of a few bugs. What a wimp. Ji Xian calmly reassured them. Don't be afraid. Keep your eyes open. This is your chance to witness how the different assassin branches fight. He placed the oil lamp down gently on a nearby rock. Then, with a composed motion, he pulled out a mask known as the Silent Mask. Activating its mimicry mode, Ji Xian took on the form of an elemental mage and cast a fireball spell. The centipedes were instantly incinerated into ashes. Soon after, They reached the final boss chamber of the dungeon. Ji Xian turned and said, "You two wait out here. The battle ahead will be intense. We can't guarantee your safety if you come with us." As soon as the upperclassmen left, Ji Huanyan blushed and murmured, Yi Tianming about last night. I'm really sorry. I don't know what came over me. I did something so embarrassing. I'm not usually like that. You don't hate me, do you?" Yi Tianming gently stroked her hair and said with a soft smile, "Of course not. You just knocked your head a little, that's all. And honestly, you're so adorable. How could I possibly hate you?" Then he tilted his head curiously. "But just now, the way you looked at Senior Ji Xian, it was kind of weird. Do you know him?" Ji Huanyan nodded lightly. "He's my older brother." She had grown up isolated from her family, hidden in a remote desert refuge. The dark guards had cared for her well, but to her, the idea of family or kinship was always vague, until they took her into the city for the annual Nianhu Festival. The Nianhu Festival was held every year to honor Lake Handan. Citizens would crowd the lakeside, setting up food stalls and praying for blessings. Leaders of the Assassin Alliance would board boats and cast crates of food into the water as offerings to the lake spirit. It was Ji Huanyan's first time stepping into the city, and the spectacle amazed her. Crowds bustled around her, and her eyes sparkled at the sight of colorful floating lanterns, fragrant rice cakes, and fluffy cotton candy. It felt like stepping into a dream she never wanted to leave. Just then, she heard someone in the crowd gasp. "It's the head of the Ji family." She looked toward the lake and saw a grand ceremonial boat gliding forward. Standing at the bow was the Ji family patriarch, surrounded by key members of the clan. One of the dark guards leaned in and whispered, "Miss, that man is your father, and beside him, your brother." She couldn't recall exactly how she felt at that moment, only that the cotton candy in her hand suddenly lost all flavor. Her heart felt heavy, and the guards quietly led her away from the lakeside. "Yi Tianming," she said softly, "if I had been born into an ordinary family, maybe I could have known what it feels like to be truly surrounded by love." Yi Tianming gently patted her head like a caring big brother. He was struck by how different she was from the cold and proud assassin he remembered from his past life, so vulnerable and human now. With a warm smile, he reassured her, "Once we've made it through all this, if you're still willing, I promise I'll find a way to reunite you with your family." Ji Huanyan threw herself into his arms, eyes misting over. "Thank you, Tianming." Meanwhile, deep within the hidden chamber of the trial, Senior Ji Xian had just slain the level 15 Iron Rank boss, the Venom Claw Crab Spider. Huang Tian clapped, genuinely impressed. "Impressive. I used to wonder how the disguised lineage held its ground in an assassin alliance that worships brute strength. But now I see. Your mimicry can recreate core skills from different classes, exploit weaknesses, and strike with endless variation. No wonder you're so feared." But then his expression darkened. "Still, there's something I don't understand. With this kind of power, why did your Ji family lose 4 elite disciples in a row? You're the clan heir. Don't tell me you've heard nothing behind the scenes." Ji Xian removed his mask calmly. It was indeed suspicious. But after extensive investigation, we confirmed all 4 died inside the reincarnation trials. The wounds were clearly caused by beasts, and the testimonies from their companions matched perfectly. No signs of foul play. So, maybe it really was just a tragic accident. Huang Tian stepped toward the spider's corpse, chuckling darkly. "An accident, huh? Sure." Suddenly, he drew his blade and sliced off one of the spider's sharp, venomous claws. "Look at this. The venom claw's pincer secretes a potent toxin. Imagine I got accidentally wounded during battle. You, being the kind-hearted one, would be forced to protect me and fight the beast at the same time. Wouldn't that be the perfect setup for another accident?" Without warning, Huang Tian plunged the claw straight into his own body, grinning like a madman. Ji Xian's eyes widened in shock. "He's insane. He actually stabbed himself just to frame me." Meanwhile, outside the chamber, Yi Tianming sensed that something was off. Strange. With their strength, the battle should have ended by now. Why haven't they come out? Without hesitation, he grabbed Ji Huanyan's hand. "Let's go in and check." Inside, everything was eerily silent, too calm, as if nothing had happened at all. Then, they spotted Ji Xian slumped against the wall, unmoving, his condition uncertain. Rushing over, they knelt beside him. He's still alive, Yi Tianming assessed quickly, but in bad shape. This doesn't make sense. He only fought a level 15 crab spider. How did it come to this? Suddenly, a cough echoed from behind them. Huang Tian. With a weak, trembling voice, Huang Tian feigned guilt. It's all my fault. I underestimated the spider and got poisoned. Ji Xian tried to protect me and got hurt. The spider's leg is still inside him. If the venom spreads, it'll be too late. Quick, pull it out. Naive and trusting, Ji Huanyan immediately reached forward, preparing to remove the spider leg. But the last second, Yi Tianming grabbed her wrist, his eyes sharp as blades. Stop! Something's wrong. Don't touch him yet. Yi Tianming calmly stepped toward Huang Tian. Senior Huang, let me help you up. But Huang Tian waved him off, only to be met with a sudden, deadly thrust from Yi Tianming's spear. Huang Tian reacted in a flash, dodging the attack and leaping back. The two instantly put distance between them. Realizing his scheme had been exposed, Huang Tian's face darkened, a sinister glint flashing in his eyes. Ji Huanyan rushed over, panic in her voice. Tianming, what's going on? Yi Tianming explained coldly. The crab spider's legs have barbed spikes that pierce at specific angles. Judging from Ji Xian's wound, that leg was inserted after the spider was already dead. Pulling it out now would only cause massive bleeding and kill him faster. He glared at Huang Tian. You wanted us to finish him off and destroy the evidence, then pin the story on us to support your lie. What a vicious plan. Huang Tian burst into laughter. Ha ha, you're sharper than I thought. No wonder they told me to try and spare you if possible. But that's no longer an option. His tone turned cold. You were both supposed to survive if you'd stayed out of this room. But now, I'll simply say you forced your way in, caused a disaster, and all three of you were eaten by the crab spider. Not even bones left behind. Yi Tianming's killing intent surged. His voice turned icy. This boss of yours, who is it that gave the order? Huang Tian smirked, drawing a handful of throwing darts. Why would I waste answers on a dead man? In a flash, he unleashed a barrage of darts straight at Yi Tianming. But just before impact, Ji Huanyan darted in front of him, shielding him without hesitation. Yi Tianming remained calm. Instead of dodging, he whispered a single word, and the ground beneath them cracked open. A swarm of undead surged forth. Huang Tian froze in disbelief. What the hell is this? Ji Huanyan's voice trembled. Tianming, how are there so many undead? Huang Tian narrowed his eyes, stroking his chin. A rookie assassin using necromancer spells? You're hiding more than I thought. But Yi Tianming didn't answer. He raised his hand, pointed directly at Huang Tian, and commanded coldly, Go, rip him apart. Huang Tian activated his skill, Blossom Slash, Lotus in a flash, sneering, trying to overwhelm me with numbers? Ants are still ants, even in a swarm. He flung his attack into the crowd of skeletons. The spell burst like a blazing lotus. The battlefield erupted in flame. Bones cracked, skulls shattered. The undead army was instantly set ablaze. In a flash, Yi Tianming sprang into the air. With a spear gripped tight, he dove from above, aiming straight at Huang Tian. But Huang Tian merely smirked, his fingers curling with eerie calm. A split second later, several beams of light burst out. Yi Tianming's spear shattered midair, and crimson lines of blood appeared across his body. Before he could react, Huang Tian launched a brutal kick, sending him flying across the ground. Seeing this, Ji Huanyan rushed to his side in panic. Tianming, are you all right? Just as she raised her dagger, ready to retaliate, Yi Tianming weakly grabbed her hand. You have to conserve your strength, he whispered. Trust me, I swear, I'll make sure you survive this. Huang Tian held the glowing lotus of the moment in his palm, watching Yi Tianming struggle back to his feet. He sneered, Look at you now, barely able to stand, yet still refusing to accept defeat? I'll admit it, you're the most impressive rookie I've seen. Your speed nearly matches mine. But the gap in our levels and skills, that's not something your cheap tricks can overcome. And me? I love nothing more than shattering the illusions of so-called geniuses like you. Ji Xian, those others before you, and now it's your turn. Yi Tianming charged at Huang Tian, blade in hand. Ji Huanyan watched with growing worry, her heart tightening with every step he took. But in the very next second, Yi Tianming activated the Dark Origin Fragment. Black energy flared, and in an instant, both he and Huang Tian vanished from sight. Ji Huanyan gasped. Tianming, where did they go? They just disappeared. And what did he mean by those final words to me? Meanwhile, Huang Tian found himself in a pitch-black void, visibly startled. What the hell is this place? You're at death's door, and you still think you can pull tricks? Yi Tianming coughed weakly, the Dark Origin Fragment glowing faintly in his hand. Blood traced the corner of his mouth as he smirked. Senior Huang, you still don't get it, do you? At this point, does it even matter where we are? Fragment of Primordial Darkness. Remaining power, 93 seconds. Yi Tianming smirked calmly. Tell me, Huang Tian, what do you think my partner will do once she realizes we both vanished? Will she come back? And if she does, your little scheme will be exposed to the world. In other words, you're finished. Huang Tian's eyes widened with rage. A deadly killing intent surged from his body. He lunged forward, grabbed Yi Tianming by the collar, and roared, Yi Tianming, you madman, what do you even gain from this? Ha! Yi Tianming chuckled coldly. I'm probably not making it out of here alive anyway. But if I can drag a high-level bastard down with me, totally worth it. You lunatic. Huang Tian was furious, but panic flickered in his mind. Damn, Ji Huanyan might still be nearby. I have to get out before she returns. Huang Tian's tone suddenly softened. All right, I admit I underestimated you. Let's talk. End this now, and I'll spare your life. You wanted to know who's behind all this, right? I'll tell you. But if you don't drop this, I'll make sure your death is slow. Painful. Yi Tianming's laugh was low and cold. That's a tempting offer. But you know what? I'd rather grant you a far worse ending. Fragment of Primordial Darkness. Remaining power. 1 second. At that very moment, just as the energy field shattered, Ji Huanyan emerged from the shadows behind Huang Tian, her dagger gleaming. This is for my brother. With a single, swift motion, she drove the blade straight into Huang Tian's neck. Blood sprayed, and just like that, Huang Tian was struck down by Ji Huanyan's swift and precise blow. She rushed to Yi Tianming's side, heart pounding. He was covered in wounds and barely holding on. As Huang Tian lay bleeding out, he still couldn't believe the outcome. How could he lose? He was clearly the stronger one. Yi Tianming smirked despite the pain. Your arrogance was your downfall. I used my injuries as bait to get close and set up a perfect play with my teammate. You were right. Skill and level differences can't be ignored, but they can be outwitted. And with that, Huang Tian died, eyes wide open in disbelief, ending his wicked path once and for all. Ji Huanyan gently bandaged Tianming's wounds, concern in her voice. Tianming, are you okay? He chuckled softly, brushing it off. It's nothing, just some scratches. My weapon and armor are trash though, but at least I got this momentary lotus. Not a bad trade. Then, she gently touched his back and whispered a question that had been bothering her. Have we met before? How did you know the secret language I created? She explained that, growing up alone in the vast desert, her only companions were a group of black-footed sandcats. With no human peers, she invented a special language to communicate with them. And that language, she had never shared with anyone. So when Ji Huanyan heard Yi Tianming whispering the exact same secret phrase, guiding her next move, she froze, unable to believe her ears. Who are you, really? Yi Tianming hesitated, then stood up and spoke seriously. Huanyan, have you ever wondered if people could have lived past lives? What if I told you that you and I once spent a long, long time together? Would you believe me? Her eyes widened in shock. Wait, Tianming, are you saying you're a reincarnator? But her next words completely threw him off. Hold on, don't tell me you're the cat. Reincarnated. Yi Tianming let out a long sigh. Looks like it's still too early to talk about the truth of our past. Just then, A faint groan came from nearby. Senior Ji Xian, who had been unconscious, slowly opened his eyes. Ji Huanyan rushed to his side. Senior Ji, you're awake. Ji Xian tried to speak, his voice weak. Are you two all right? As Ji Xian opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was Huang Tian's lifeless body. His eyes widened in disbelief. You actually took him down? Yi Tianming calmly pulled out a vial of yellow potion. Senior Ji, don't move. You're badly injured. I'll carry you out myself, but first, drink this. It should be enough to keep you stable until we get help. Without hesitation, Ji Xian took the vial and drank it all in one go. The medicine kicked in quickly, easing his pain. He let out a bitter sigh. I studied alongside Huang Tian for 8 years. I never imagined he was hiding such malice. I owe you both my life. Not only did you save me, you even brought justice. The Ji family will not forget this kindness. Hearing that, Yi Tianming stepped up to Huang Tian's body and sneered. The real culprit? Senior Ji, I'm afraid you're oversimplifying it. Huang Tian was just a pawn, one piece on a much bigger board. His death doesn't mean the assassination attempts on your Ji family are over. Ji Xian's face turned grim. He stared at Yi Tianming and demanded, Who are you really? And how do you know all this? As Yi Tianming examined Huang Tian's face, he replied calmly, Who I am doesn't matter. What does matter is this. If I dare to kill Huang Tian, then clearly I'm not your enemy. Let me ask, can you still use your disguise technique? Ji Xian's eyes widened in shock, but he nodded. As long as I don't engage in combat, I can maintain the disguise for several hours. Yi Tianming's lips curled into a dark smirk. He grabbed Huang Tian's head and said, Perfect. A barely alive Huang Tian is far more useful than a dead one. Meanwhile, outside the trial tower, teachers and students were anxiously waiting for their return. Suddenly, a red-haired student pointed ahead and shouted, Look, they're back. Everyone turned to see Tianming staggering out of the dungeon, carrying a barely conscious Huang Tian on his back, with Ji Huanyan supporting him from the side. Note, this Huang Tian is actually Ji Xian using his disguise technique. The instructor frowned and questioned them. You too. What on earth happened? This was supposed to be a low-level trial under level 15. How did it leave you in this state? And where's Ji Xian? Why isn't he coming out? Ji Huanyan burst into tears. It's all my fault. I didn't listen to Senior Ji's warning and entered the boss chamber without permission. He sacrificed himself to protect me. Even Senior Huang Tian was gravely injured because of it. Instructor turned pale. What? Ji Xian is dead. Medical team. Now, he shouted. Get Huang Tian treated immediately. As Huang Tian was carried away, Instructor's face grew grim. This is bad. That's the 5th Ji family heir who's died. And this time, it's the current patriarch's son. The Ji family is going to explode. Meanwhile, deep within an ancient ruin, a few hooded figures were reporting. My lord, after years of extensive searching, we've finally pinpointed the location of the sacred relic. The leader glanced over the report, eyes narrowing. So, it's there of all places. Ancestor, you hit it well. According to our secret family records, you never wanted the relic to be found again, fearing the catastrophe it would unleash upon the world. But times have changed. In this era, it's every man for himself. If we can exchange that relic for ultimate power, then let the world burn. The man declared coldly, We strike during the Xia Lake Festival, 7 days from now. Do you all agree? An elderly woman stepped forward with a slow chuckle. The Xia Lake Festival, when every noble house is spread thin, maintaining public order. A perfect time to strike. But remember, the closer we get to the end, the more careful we must be. One slip could ruin everything. A subordinate stepped up hesitantly. My lord, speaking of slips, today Huang Tian carried out the mission to assassinate Ji Xian as planned. Though he managed to land a fatal blow, he failed to retrieve the body. Worse, he's now gravely wounded and unconscious. The man snorted in disdain. That useless fool. He failed the one thing that mattered. Without a body, the Ji family will never stop digging. I suggest we make sure he never wakes up. Do it cleanly. Another voice chimed in with hesitation. But my lord, Huang Tian was a deep cover asset we nurtured for 8 years. Among his peers, he's nearly unmatched in talent. Isn't it a waste to just discard him? The man scoffed coldly. So what? I've got no shortage of geniuses under me. But that Yi Tianming, he's different. A 1 in a million Destiny class assassin. Now that's true talent. If I could bring him under my command, his future achievements might even surpass mine. He paused, then added with a chilling tone. While you're at it, evaluate Yi Tianming. If it turns out he hasn't accessed the hidden stage, we'll consider recruiting him later. But if he has, and he knows the secret of the treasure, then kill him on the spot. No exceptions. Meanwhile, completely unaware of the plot against him, Yi Tianming arrived at the academy's library. As he walked in, he saw a gentle-looking female teacher organizing a pile of books. He stepped forward and presented his skill exchange tickets, ready to redeem new techniques. The woman glanced up and smiled. I haven't seen you before. You must be a freshman. I'm Professor Hu Inger, the head librarian. Hand me your exchange tickets, and I'll log your info. As Yi Tianming picked up the brush to write, his thoughts raced. That battle with Huang Tian. Even though he and Huan Yin pulled off a flawless combo to win, in terms of raw power, he was still at a disadvantage. And the enemies he'll face next? Definitely even stronger. He had no time to waste. He had to upgrade his skills fast. Professor Hu glanced at his profile and commented with admiration. Yi Tianming, a student from a civilian background. These 2 skill exchange tickets mean you did exceptionally well on the entrance exam. Given your origins, that's truly impressive. Professor Hu, I think you missed something. There are actually 10 vouchers here, Yi Tianming said calmly. Professor Hu froze. 10 skill exchange tickets from freshmen? Wait, could he be the top scorer of this year's entrance exam? But even the first place student usually only gets 5 tickets. Unless, did he awaken some rare class from the land of inheritance? As she stood there in shock, Yi Tianming tilted his head. Professor Hu? Is something wrong? Oh, and no, it's nothing, she stammered. The first floor houses all first-tier skill books. There are over 100 to choose from. I suggest you take your time, maybe attend some classes first, then come back after you've decided. Yi Tianming shook his head and handed her a folded list. No need, Professor. I've already made my choices. Professor Hu took the list and nodded to herself. Looks like his mentor must have helped him plan this out. There's nothing for me to worry about then. But the moment she saw what skills he had picked, her eyes widened in disbelief. Yi Tianming, you can't joke around with your future like this. After your second class upgrade, you can only follow one assassin path. But your list, it includes skills from all 4 major branches. These vouchers are incredibly rare. Some students barely get 5 by the time they hit second class. You can't afford to waste them. Yi Tianming sighed helplessly. Seriously, I didn't think redeeming skills would be such a hassle. Just then, a young man walked over and interrupted. Professor Hu, go ahead and process the exchange. I'm the one who gave him those 10 tickets. Yi Tianming turned to him, clearly puzzled. Who are you? I'm Lu Nang from the Lu clan. My younger brother lost our heirloom necklace to you yesterday. After hearing about it, our family is willing to offer 10 skill exchange tickets to buy it back. Brother Yi, would you be willing to give me this honor? Yi Tianming narrowed his eyes. So I beat the younger one, and now the elder shows up? The Lu family clearly had no idea about the true value of that necklace. This whole buyback excuse? It was probably just a cover. Let's see what game they're really playing. Calmly, he asked, and what if I say no? Lu Ning didn't get angry. Instead, he smiled slyly. I figured you'd refuse. That's why I have a better offer. How about a wager? You put the necklace on the line, I'll put up double the stakes. 20 skill vouchers. I won't bully you. If you can last a full minute against me, you win. Sound fair? Yi Tianming immediately understood. So this is their trap. Lu Ning clearly assumed he was prideful and competitive. This whole setup was meant to provoke him and help his younger brother save face. Both brothers are equally ruthless, huh? He pointed at Lu Neng and asked, Tell me, between you and Senior Huang Tian, who's stronger? Lu Ning smirked after a brief pause. Huang Tian's among the best of our second-year students. But between us, we're evenly matched. Yi Tianming glanced down, quietly absorbing the techniques from his newly acquired skill list. Then he chuckled, sounds fun. I've always been curious if shamelessness is something that runs in the family. Lu Ning's expression twisted in anger. You arrogant brat. Third floor, skill testing room. I'll be waiting. Professor who stepped forward, clearly worried. Yi Tianming, should I inform your homeroom teacher? Lu Ning, doesn't look like he's here for a friendly match. No need, Professor. Yi Tianming smiled confidently. Here's my next list of skills. Please get them ready. I'll come back with new vouchers shortly. With that, he turned and headed upstairs to the third floor testing room. Lu Ning stood waiting, arms crossed, feigning generosity. Yi Tianming, there's a set of basic assassin gear right next to you. Feel free to use any of it. If you need anything else, just let me know. I'm happy to lend a hand. Yi Tianming didn't say a word. He casually picked up a few basic grade weapons, more than enough to deal with Lu Ning. Lu Ning unsheathed his gleaming blade, his aura surging with killing intent. Yi Tianming, you didn't go easy on my brother Lu Meng, did you? So don't expect any mercy from me either. I hope you won't mind if I return the favor in full. Yi Tianming smirked. Wouldn't have it any other way. Just don't cry if you end up in the same sorry state as your brother. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ning launched forward using backslash, gale step, his figure turning into a blur. Steel clashed as the two collided, one strike each evenly matched. They exchanged blow after blow, sizing each other up with every clash. Students watching from the upper floor were stunned. Holy crap, this freshman's got some serious skill. He actually survived Lu Ning's opening burst. Lu Ning narrowed his eyes. Impressive. You've adapted to your new skill surprisingly fast. No wonder my brother got wrecked by you. But your techniques are too scattered. When it comes to real blade work, you're still miles behind. Suddenly, he lunged forward with a deadly thrust, his dagger slicing straight toward Yi Tianming's throat. But Yi Tianming launched himself into the air with a perfect backslash double jump, dodging the lethal strike at the last second. As he landed, he pulled out a poison pouch and activated a basic assassin skill, backslash smoke veil. With the poison pouch equipped, the skill filled the area with thick smoke, blinding his opponent's vision. Boom! Smoke exploded from the center of the platform. Lu Ning was instantly swallowed by the dense cloud. That's when he heard movement behind him. He spun around and slashed instinctively. Huh, caught you, you sneaky coward. In the next instant, Lu Ning froze. He had just struck his brother Lu Meng. What the hell? He was supposed to be fighting Yi Tianming. Why was Lu Meng here? But before he could think it through, Yi Tianming launched a flurry of throwing knives. Lu Ning dodged most of them, but one slipped through and sliced into his arm. Turns out, that figure he thought was Lu Meng was actually Yi Tianming using a basic backslash disguise technique to create a perfect illusion. Lu Ning glared, seething with fury. This bastard, he had the raw power to crush Yi Tianming, and yet he was the one getting played and wounded. Just as rage clouded his mind, Yi Tianming lashed out again, this time with a chained whip, cracking it straight toward Lu Ning. The students watching couldn't believe their eyes. What? Lu Ning's getting overwhelmed. This freshman isn't just strong, he's a total monster. Lu Ning's face twisted with rage. He was livid, boiling with the urge to rip Yi Tianming apart. And then, clack, the chain snapped tight, binding his limbs mid-strike. Damn it, I underestimated this little freak. He's using nothing but basic skills, yet combining them like a seasoned assassin. It's slippery, it's infuriating, it's humiliating. At last, he realized he couldn't afford to hold back any longer. If this keeps up, I might actually lose. Suddenly, a violent gust erupted around him. Blood-red energy surged into the air. Lu Ning had activated his ultimate move backslash, whirlwind slash. Amid the swirling chaos, he spotted the illusion of Lu Meng again. But this time, his fury took over. Not again. I won't fall for your tricks. This ends now. Lu Ning let out a furious roar, leaping into the air with a violent gust of energy as he charged forward like a raging beast. But right then, the figure in front of him cried out in terror. Brother, it's me, Lu Ning's rage only intensified. Oomph, that trick again. You really think I'll fall for it twice? With one ruthless strike, his blade pierced straight through Lu Meng's chest. The boy's eyes widened in shock as he collapsed to the ground, lifeless. Lu Neng sneered, basking in what he thought was victory. Huh, that's it. I've finally restored the Lu family's honor. He looked toward the arena's edge, coldly declaring, Yi Tianming, don't blame me for being ruthless. That's what you get for messing with my brother. He reached down to tear off what he assumed was Yi Tianming's illusionary mask. But nothing came off. There was no mask. His heart sank. What? Where's the mask? Then, from across the arena, Yi Tianming's voice rang out, calm and unshaken. Time's up, Senior Lu. You've lost. Lu Neng turned in horror and saw Yi Tianming standing far in the distance, completely unharmed. His face went pale. Then who did I just kill? His eyes dropped back to the corpse, realization dawning like a nightmare. It was my brother, Lu Meng. Lu Neng dropped to his knees, shaking the body. Wake up, Lu Meng. What have I done? His eyes turned bloodshot. He couldn't accept it. He had just killed his own brother with his own hands. Yi Tianming, I'll kill you. But as he charged forward, chains suddenly shot up around him, cutting off his path. In the blink of an eye, they wrapped tightly around his body, locking him in place. Before he could even scream, a single dagger flashed through the smoke and buried itself deep into his chest. And just like that, the Lu brothers met their bitter end together. Yi Tianming stood quietly before their lifeless bodies. Was this really necessary? I gave you both a chance to live, but you let your killing intent blind you, and now you've destroyed yourselves. He stepped forward, calmly reaching into Lu Neng's pocket. These 10 skill vouchers. I'll gladly take them, Senior Lu. Meanwhile, back at the Assassin Academy infirmary, Ji Huanyan sat silently beside the bed, staring at her unconscious brother, Ji Xian, her expression dark and unreadable. Ji Huanyan recalled what Yi Tianming had told her earlier. Tianming, you're going to the library now to study skills? But didn't you say if my brother pretended to be Huang Tian, the forces behind him would show up to silence him? What if they come now? Yi Tianming had answered firmly. That's exactly why I need to go. The assassin sent by those forces is bound to be stronger than Huang Tian. With our current strength, we don't stand a chance. I need to get stronger fast. Besides, they're cautious. They won't act until the Ji family arrives to investigate. That way, they can pin Huang Tian's death on your clan. We still have time. Don't worry. Stay here with your brother. I'll be back soon. Ji Huanyan's cheeks flushed as she touched her face. What's wrong with me? We've only been apart for a short while, and I already miss him. Just then, the window creaked open. Yi Tianming climbed back in. Huanyan, sorry to keep you waiting. Got held up by a little issue. How's your brother? Ji Huanyan smiled sweetly. The nurse said he's out of danger. He should regain consciousness in about a day. But at that moment, the door burst open. Ji family's patriarch stormed in, raging with grief over what he believed was his son's death. A medical staff member rushed to intercept him. Sir, please calm down. Calm down. My son just died, and you want me to calm down? He roared. There might be a murderer hiding in there. And if he escapes, are you going to take responsibility? Father. Ji Huanyan called out the moment she saw the Ji family patriarch rush into the room. Huanyan, what are you doing here? He shouted, then shot a glare at Yi Tianming. And who is this? Didn't I tell you never to reveal your true identity in front of outsiders? Huanyan's cheeks flushed as she quickly waved her hands. Tianming isn't an outsider. Yi Tianming scoffed, his tone sharp. What a responsible father you are. Didn't even know where your daughter was. If it weren't for her risking her life to protect your precious family, you might have never seen your son's corpse again. That's when the patriarch finally noticed the boy lying on the bed. Not Huang Tian, but his own son, Ji Xian. What's going on here? Moments later, the medical staff explained the full story. Guilt crept into the patriarch's expression. Sigh, I truly failed Huanyan. I've been so overwhelmed by the attacks on our family. I didn't even think to check in on her. I must make this up to her. Then his gaze shifted to Yi Tianming, a flicker of intrigue in his eyes. This boy, A mere freshman, yet he defeated Huang Tian? A rare talent indeed. If I could recruit someone like him. Wait a second. Why does Huan Yin look at him like that? Watching his daughter utterly entranced by another man, the old father's mood plummeted. He growled, Huan Yin, what exactly is your relationship with this boy? And why on earth would you tell him about your identity? Father, Tian Ming is my first real friend. He's someone I trust completely. We even share the same dorm room. The Ji patriarch glared at Yi Tianming. You little brat, I'm warning you. Huan Yin is pure-hearted. Don't you dare try anything funny, or I'll make you regret it. Dad! Ji Huanyin blushed furiously. Kimming's not like that at all. Last time I fainted in the bathroom, he helped me get dressed. He didn't take advantage of me. Not even a little. The patriarch's expression twisted into horror. What? He seen you naked? Yi Tianming quickly ducked behind Ji Huanyin, flustered. Please, sir, don't get the wrong idea. Let me explain. The old man sighed heavily. Girls grow up so fast these days. You've always had good taste. I'll respect your choice. Then he turned to Yi Tianming, face serious. You said someone will come to assassinate Huang Tian. Should we mobilize the Ji clan now? Yi Tianming shook his head with quiet confidence. No need. Any sudden movements will alert them. Just keep your current defenses. Leave the rest to me. That night, the guards outside the infirmary were barely staying awake, yawning and dozing off. A shadowy figure crept up to the window and silently slipped into Ji Xian's hospital room. Security's pathetic tonight, the man muttered. Then again, Huang Tian's still unconscious. The Ji family probably still thinks it was all an accident. His eyes gleamed with killing intent as he drew a dagger and approached the fake Huang Tian. In a flash, he slit the imposter's throat without hesitation. The man pulled up his hood, glancing down at the body. Don't blame me, brother. I did try to plead for you, but in our line of work, failure means you're done. With that, he vaulted through the window and vanished into the darkness. But the assassin had no idea. Yi Tianming had been watching him the entire time. Silently, he followed the man to a secluded location in the shadows of the academy. Suddenly, a woman stepped out of the darkness, blocking his path. Yi Tianming's eyes narrowed. Wait, isn't that the assassin found her? But he quickly snapped out of it. No, that's impossible. I watched her vanish with my own eyes. He asked sharply, Who are you, senior? The woman gave a coy smile. You really don't remember me? We've met before in that place. Instantly on guard, Yi Tianming reached behind his back, summoning a hidden weapon. Senior, please keep your distance. I don't know how you got my name, but I already have someone I care about. If you're here to flirt, try someone else. She scoffed with a pout. Oomph. No fun at all. Before turning to leave, she offered one last warning with a smirk. Things aren't so peaceful around campus these days, little freshman. You should really get back to your dorm early. Once she was gone, Yi Tianming let out a quiet breath. The tension in his shoulders finally eased a bit. That's when a distortion in space formed beside him. He didn't flinch. Come out. I know you've been watching. From the swirling ripple, the Ji family patriarch emerged. Yi Tianming, the assassin hasn't gone far. Why didn't you follow him? Yi Tianming turned calmly, eyes sharp as blades. No need, Patriarch Ji. They already made their fatal mistake. Just now, I finally figured out. The force operating in the shadows, the one targeting the Ji family. I know exactly who they are. Patriarch Ji's eyes widened. What? Tell me, who's behind this? Yi Tianming pointed in the direction the mysterious woman had vanished. Patriarch Ji, you saw her too, didn't you? That assassin took the form of a woman. Tell me, does that face look familiar to you? He paused, then added coldly, that wasn't a random disguise. She was mimicking the assassin ancestor. Ji's expression turned pale. That's impossible. The assassin ancestor died centuries ago. No paintings, no records of her appearance survived. Her image is lost to history. How could anyone replicate it? Yi Tianming's gaze sharpened. Who said her image was lost? In my previous life, after the fall of Coldpool City, I discovered a ruined structure buried in its ashes. Among the rubble were shattered marble fragments and an inscription. It hinted that the site once held a statue of the assassin ancestor. Deeper inside the ruins, I found a hidden weapons cache. Dozens of ancient daggers, rare poisons, everything preserved untouched for ages. And then I learned the site of that forgotten relic, Cold Pool City, was under the control of two noble families, the Liu clan and the Wang clan. Patriarch Ji's voice turned grim. You mean the ones plotting against my Ji family are the Liu and Wang clans? Suddenly, a flicker of doubt crossed Patriarch Ji's face. Wait a minute. How do you even recognize the assassin ancestor? How do you know all of this? His tone turned sharp. Who are you, really? Why did you get close to my daughter? What's your real motive for helping the Ji family? But before he could finish, Yi Tianming lifted his hand, releasing the seal on his aura. A tidal wave of pressure burst outward, pure and unmistakable. The aura of a king-rank assassin. He smiled calmly, voice low but powerful. That's because I've seen the real assassin ancestor with my own eyes. The patriarch froze in shock. This is king-tier energy, a king-rank assassin. That level hasn't been seen in 1,000 years. Meanwhile, deep within an ancient ruin, the assassin who had killed the fake Huang Tian knelt before a shadowy figure. My lord, he reported, Huang Tian is dead. The man gave a simple order. Good. From now on, suspend all outside operations. Wait for the uprising at the Xie Lake Festival. The assassin, Liu Chuanji, one of the Liu clan's dark agents, continued his report. My lord, one more thing. On my way back, I was tailed by Yi Tianming. Clan head Liu Yin narrowed his eyes. What? Are we exposed? Liu Chuanji bowed deeply. There's no need for concern. The Ji family's defenses are weak. They likely remain completely unaware of our existence. I believe Yi Tianming simply sent something off with Ji Xin's death. But Huang Tian is dead. The uprising begins in 7 days. Even if they suspect us, it's already too late. Liu Chuanji added, I've completed the evaluation of Yi Tianming. I disguised myself as the assassin ancestor and observed his reaction. He clearly didn't recognize her. That means he hasn't unlocked the hidden stage. Clan Master Liu Yin gave a faint smile. To notice the truth behind Ji Xin's death proves his intelligence. And with the potential to become a heaven-ranked assassin, yes, he's exactly the kind of person we need. We can recruit him without hesitation. Liu Chuanji hesitated. But my lord, Yi Tianming killed both Lu Neng and Lu Meng. They were part of our bloodline. Can we really let that go? Lu Yan's expression turned cold. Those two were worthless drunks from Side Branch. Their deaths mean nothing. If bringing Yi Tianming in requires a few sacrifices, so be it. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming returned to his dorm. Waiting outside the door was Ji Huanyan, her eyes filled with worry. The moment she saw him, she ran straight into his arms. Tianming, are you hurt? Are you okay? Yi Tianming chuckled. Relax. With your father watching from the shadows, nothing was ever going to happen to me. But Huanyan wasn't smiling. Did the assassin show up? Did you figure out who's trying to destroy the Ji family? Yi Tianming's mind flashed back to what Patriarch Ji had told him in private. Tianming, there's one last favor I must ask. War between the Ji, Liu, and Wang clans is inevitable. Ji Xin has already been gravely injured. I don't want my daughter caught in this bloodbath. Yi Tianming's eyes sharpened. Understand, he said calmly. Then, locking eyes with the patriarch, he smirked. But I have one condition. I want your daughter. Yi Tianming gently placed a hand on Ji Huanyan's head, his voice calm and reassuring. Don't worry. Your father caught the assassin himself. He's interrogating them right now, and the mastermind behind it all will soon be dealt with by the Ji family. You've already fulfilled your mission. You saved your clan. You've done more than enough. From here on out, let the adults handle the rest. As for us, let's just enjoy the peaceful school life ahead. He gave her a grin. All right, Lake Nyin Festival is coming up soon. How about we take a day off and check it out together? Ji Huanyan's eyes lit up. She jumped excitedly. Really? That's amazing. It's a date then. But halfway through her joy, she suddenly froze. Her cheeks turned beet red. W8? Is this what people call a date? Late that night, Yi Tianming was fast asleep in his dorm bed. Ji Huanyin stood at his bedside, wearing a silky nightgown, nervously fidgeting. Her father's voice echoed in her mind. Huanyin, listen. I don't mind you dating that boy, but sharing a room isn't appropriate. You're still too young. If something irreversible happens, it'll be too late. I'll be speaking to the academy tomorrow to get your room changed. Ji Huanyin, cheeks burning red, quietly climbed onto Yi Tianming's bed and hugged him tightly. Yi Tianming jolted awake, his entire body freezing up. His face flushed as he stammered, Huanyin, what are you doing? The next moment, she straddled him and kissed him without hesitation. Her voice was soft but unwavering. Tianming, I like you. I'll be moving out of this dorm tomorrow. Tonight, it's our last moment alone. And deep down, I don't think you'll be staying in this academy for long. Her tone grew quiet, a trace of sorrow in her eyes. That's why I don't want to have any regrets. Yi Tianming exhaled softly, then replied gently, Huanyin, I understand how you feel. Honestly, with someone as amazing as you, how could I not be moved? But unfortunately, I already have someone I love. Huh? So what? Huanyin blinked, totally unfazed. Men like you, strong and brilliant like soaring eagles, usually have many wives, don't they? You're worried I'll fight your first love for attention? Don't be. I'll get along just fine with her. I'll be a good little sister backslash. Yi Tianming stared at her in shock. Wait, that a thing in this world? Why has no one ever told me? Just then, Ji Huanyin frowned and shifted slightly. Huh, why does something keep poking my leg? Yi Tianming tensed up instantly, a strange shiver running down his spine. Huanyin's cheeks turned beet red as realization hit her. So, that's what it was. She looked down shyly and whispered, Tianming, do boys feel really uncomfortable when that happens? Then she gently leaned closer, wrapping her arms around him. I don't really understand these things. Could you maybe teach me? The scene fades out slowly, moonlight spilling softly into the room. The next morning, the sun was warm and bright. When Yi Tianming woke up, she was already gone. Only a delicate piece of her nightgown remained in his hand, a silent reminder that last night was very real. Over the following days, Ji Huanyin vanished from the academy. Word was she had taken a leave of absence. Meanwhile, Yi Tianming devoted himself entirely to the secret realm, relentlessly training day and night. And finally, just in time for the coming battle, he reached level 18, just enough to wield Huang Tian's final legacy skill, Instant Lotus Bloom. His strength had finally reached a new realm. Just then, the dorm door swung open. Yi Tianming perked up, thinking Huanyin had returned. He stood up hopeful, but instead, a group of male students walked in. One red-haired guy grinned. Bro, it's Lake Nyin Festival today. The campus is buzzing. The academy even gave us the day off. Want to come hang with the crew? Yi Tianming let out a disappointed sigh and waved them off. Sorry, I've already got plans. At that moment, a voice shouted from outside the hallway, full of excitement. Guys, get out here now. There's a total knockout at the front gate. Way hotter than our school's flower. But bad news. She's apparently waiting for her boyfriend. Total waste. What? Which lucky bastard is it? We gotta find him and beat some sense into him. Wait a sec. She looks kind of familiar. I swear I've seen her somewhere before. Before they could even finish their sentence, Yi Tianming had already bolted out of the dorm at lightning speed. Moments later, he came skidding to a stop, panting, right behind the beautiful girl standing at the academy gates. Wiping the sweat from his brow, he smiled brightly. Huanyin, you look amazing today. Ji Huanyin blushed and pouted. I spent ages getting ready, and that's all I get. Yi Tianming panicked. Then how about drop dead gorgeous? Divine beauty? Goddess level Huanyin. Watching him fluster, she couldn't help but laugh. But Tianming, I didn't think you had a weak spot. She reached out, gently taking his hand. Come on, let's go enjoy the Lake Nyin Festival together. Before long, the two arrived hand in hand at the bustling festival in Cold Pool City. Ji Huanyin lit up with excitement, pointing toward a street booth. Tianming, look, I'll cat. Yi Tianming played along, eyes wide. Whoa, those actually exist. She grabbed 2 sticks of cotton candy from a vendor. Yi Tianming looked at the price tag and groaned. $10 a stick? You might as well rob me. But Ji Huanyan just smiled brightly, clearly overjoyed. She hadn't felt this kind of happiness, so pure and unrestrained, since she was a child. Watching her laugh with sugar on her lips, Yi Tianming couldn't help but smile too, his heart quietly softening. Then, she picked up a delicate lotus lantern and called out, Tianming, come make a wish with me. Today's the best day to do it. Legend says lantern wishes always come true. But before they could toss it into the water, a loud commotion erupted from nearby. Look, it's the Ji family's patriarch. His boat's docking. Ji Huanyan's eyes widened in alarm. Oh no, my father's here. Tianming, we need to hide. But Yi Tianming calmly grabbed her hand, steady as a rock. No need to hide. He gently pulled her into his arms and said softly, Relax, Huanyan. We're right where we should be. Moments later, the Ji patriarch stepped off the boat, walking straight toward the two of them. The Ji patriarch pulled his daughter into a proud embrace and declared to the crowd, Everyone, this is my eldest daughter, Ji Huanyan. For years, I failed in my duty and left her out in the world alone. But starting today, Huanyan officially returns to the Ji family. Her name shall be inscribed in our ancestral records. I will do everything I can to make up for all the years she endured alone. As it turns out, this entire public reveal had been part of a plan he and Yi Tianming had discussed in secret. Tianming, I want Huanyan to come home, he had said. Let it be on the day of the Lotus Lake Festival. The patriarch had hesitated. That may not be wise. I've kept her identity hidden all these years. Revealing her now would make her target. But Yi Tianming had replied calmly. And what if that threat could be removed entirely? The Lotus Lake Festival will be the weakest day in city defenses. I'm certain the Liu and Wang families will strike then. If the Ji family wins the coming battle and crushes one of the rival clans, then no one will ever threaten Huanyan again. Or do you lack confidence in your own house, patriarch? Back to the present. The Ji guards made an announcement. Citizens of Cold Pool, in honor of our princess's homecoming, the Ji family has arranged a grand event outside the city. Gifts worth 10 gold for everyone. Come and claim yours now. The crowd erupted in excitement and rushed toward the city gates. Within minutes, the streets grew noticeably quieter. The Ji patriarch gently patted his daughter's head. Huanyan, I have matters to attend to. I'll come back to you later. Then, he turned to Yi Tianming and said with gravity in his voice, Tianming, from this day forward, I entrust my daughter to you. If something happens to me, take care of her. Yi Tianming straightened his back and answered without hesitation, I will. Just then, Ji Huanyan tugged Yi Tianming's hand with a bright smile. Tianming, everyone's heading outside the city. Should we go check it out too? He gently pulled his hand away and replied in a low voice, Sorry, Huanyan, I won't be able to stay by your side much longer. As soon as he finished speaking, a skeleton warrior silently emerged behind her and struck her unconscious. A hooded figure stepped forward and caught her before she could fall. It was Sasha. With a hint of jealousy in her tone, she muttered, So, this is the sweet little sister you were talking about, huh? Yi Tianming froze. His face flushed with awkwardness. He had no idea how to respond. Sasha cradled the unconscious Huanyan in her arms and turned to leave. Fine, I'll take care of her, but you better come back to explain everything yourself. She paused, looked back at him, and whispered, And Tianming, come back alive, okay? Suddenly, a thunderous explosion echoed from the distance. Flames lit up the sky. Yi Tianming's eyes narrowed as he stared into the blazing horizon. So, it begins. The war between the four great clans has officially started. Without hesitation, Yi Tianming dove straight into the lake. It was time to reclaim the oceanic soul crystal. He activated his sacred sea bloodline, breath of water, granting him the ability to breathe underwater freely. But something fell off. The lake bed was completely empty. Just then, he spotted a faint outline of a hidden cave beneath the surface. As he leaned in closer to inspect, a swirling portal suddenly materialized before him. System alert. Class detected. King tier assassin. Teleportation seal removed. In the blink of an eye, he was transported to a remote hut nestled deep underwater. Rising to his feet, Yi Tianming stared in awe. A hidden realm beneath the lake. With such a discreet entrance and strict conditions, no wonder it remained undiscovered for centuries. He gently pushed open the wooden door and stepped into the courtyard, only to see a girl quietly eating alone. She looked up, and tears instantly welled in her eyes. That it was the mermaid girl Kraka. With a joyful cry, she leapt into his arms, wrapping herself tightly around him. Yi Tianming gently held her and spoke softly. "Miss Kraka, you've done enough. You and the ancestor guarded this place for centuries. It's time for you to finally rest." But Kraka broke into tears, sobbing, But Sister Moonbane, she's gone forever." He looked into her eyes, his tone tender. "I know how much you miss her. You stayed through centuries of solitude, by her side until her final breath. She once told me, having you as her sister was the greatest blessing of her life." Krako smiled gently and said that her sister once told her, if someone still cries for her after she's gone, she'd be angry even in the afterlife. So now, it was her turn to accompany Yi Tianming and explore this world 100 years later. She was sure there were plenty of exciting and unfamiliar things waiting for them. Hearing this, Krako's cheeks turned bright red. "Wait, Tianming, are you really taking me with you? But I'm already so old. Don't guys like younger girls more?" Yi Tianming gently patted her on the shoulder and replied with a chuckle. "What are you talking about, Miss Krako? Aren't you just 18? She huffed and turned away, pretending to be annoyed. Boys these days, all sweet talkers." But the next second, she held out her hand and smiled. "Come on, I'll show you the real Han Hai Soul Crystal." They soon arrived at a hidden underground chamber. Yi Tianming stared at the soul crystal in front of him and asked in confusion, "Is this the real thing? Why does it look so much duller than the one in the inheritance realm?" Krako explained, "It hasn't been used in hundreds of years. Even the best sword will rust if left untouched for too long." She carefully removed the Han Hai Soul Crystal and handed it to him. "But don't worry, after a few uses and some recharging, it'll be as good as new. Here, take it." But just then, a dark shadow appeared silently behind Yi Tianming. A black hand suddenly shot out, aiming straight for the crystal in Krako's hands. In the blink of an eye, Yi Tianming pushed Krako away and shouted, "Hold on to the crystal. Run as far as you can." Caught off guard, she tumbled to the side, clutching the crystal tightly. The dark origin fragment suddenly activated on its own. A system prompt appeared, current magic detected. Activation successful. Time remaining, 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Krako stood frozen in confusion, eyes wide with panic, as Yi Tianming vanished before her eyes. Inside the shadowy realm, Yi Tianming stared at the eerie ghost flames ahead. "Damn it, I let my guard down. Someone was hiding in my shadow this whole time. That's not even assassin skill." A man in a top hat stepped out from the flames. His name, Moto. His class, level 25 Phantom Trickster. Phantom Trickster? What kind of class is that? I've never heard of it in my past life, and he's only level 25, but the pressure he gives off completely dwarfs Huang Tian's. Could he be part of that hidden force I've been trying to uncover? Moto glanced around, realizing where they were. Ah, so this is the Dark Origin Fragments domain. No wonder the goblins failed to kidnap the elf princess back then. You were the one who ruined it. Clever. In fact, you might be the sharpest opponent I've ever faced. You exposed the plans of the Liu and Wang families, cleared everyone's suspicions, almost pulled it off again. But you made one miscalculation, Moto said coldly. "I already located the Sea Soul Crystal's hiding place half a month ago. To be sure, I've been watching the area day and night. The moment I saw you under the water, everything clicked. No matter how much you struggle now, the outcome is already decided." Yi Tianming let out a confident smirk and drew his spirit cat dagger. "You really think you can take me down alone?" Moto raised a clawed, ghostly hand. "The old men from the Liu and Wang families asked me that same question. The only difference is, let's see if you can last longer than they did." In the very next second, the ghostly claw lunged straight at Yi Tianming. Unfazed, he countered with his falling leaf slash, slicing the claw clean in half with one swift motion. But the severed claw didn't disappear. Instead, it split into two dark shadows. Those shadows twisted and morphed, turning into two new ghost claws that launched another attack. Yi Tianming spun like a whirlwind, unleashing a whirlwind slash that shredded both claws in an instant. Moto's voice rang out, filled with disbelief. Such speed. I didn't expect an 18-level rookie to block my phantom claws. Then, with a wave of his hand, he summoned a swarm of cursed bats. But your mistake was choosing swordsmanship. No matter how fast your blade is, its reach is limited. Even Lu Chuanzi, the former head of the Lu clan, fell because of this weakness. Now it's your turn. Let's see how you handle an assault from every direction. A swarm of flaming black bats erupted from the shadows, descending on Yi Tianming from all sides. But just then, Yi Tianming's aura exploded. His presence surged like a tidal wave in a flash of blinding light. The bats were torn apart and vaporized midair. Moto gasped, "Impossible. You can control throwing weapons too." Yi Tianming narrowed his eyes. Such a weapon as Instant Blooming Lotus was wasted in Huang Tian's hands. Only someone with powerful mental control can unlock its true potential. Too bad for you. Now it's far too late to understand. But to his shock, Moto didn't even flinch under the attack. Yi Tianming's expression changed. No way. He's completely unharmed. Moto smirked. "You've exceeded my expectations. I'll give you that. But surely you didn't think I'd walk into this fight relying solely on being level 25, did you?" The next moment, Moto tore off his cloak and hat. A wave of black mist erupted, his true form revealed. The manifestation of a demon lord. Facing the demon lord before him, Yi Tianming clenched his fists. This monster, he had no chance of winning today. But at least Krako had escaped. All he could do now was buy her more time. Floating above, Moto sneered. "Give up. You've lasted long enough. Most people don't even live long enough to witness my true form. Consider it a reward. I'll let you see what real power looks like." With a flick of his hand, Moto cracked a blazing energy whip straight toward Yi Tianming. A deafening explosion followed. The sheer force of the attack shook the entire space. Meanwhile, far away, the head of the Ji clan was examining a mysterious artifact. A wounded man lay unconscious beside him, but the thunderous boom in the distance drew his attention. Damn it, something's wrong. That's Tianming's direction. Back on the battlefield, even Moto looked surprised. His full power strike hadn't finished Yi Tianming. It was Krako. She had returned just in time, unleashing the Songlong barrier to shield him from the fatal blow. The shield cracked under the pressure, and Krako coughed up blood, staggering from the backlash. Yi Tianming caught her in his arms, panicked. "Why'd you come back? What happened to you?" Krako gave him a weak smile. "This was all that remained in the sea crystal after my people sacrificed themselves a century ago. I'm just glad it was enough to protect you." Floating above, Moto looked down at them, clearly puzzled. "I don't get it. One human, one merfolk. You're not even the same race. What's worth risking your life for each other?" He sighed, then raised his hand again. "No matter. This just saves me the trouble of hunting either of you down. Let me send you both on your way, together." Just then, a throwing dart cut through the air, followed by a voice shouting, "Tianming, we're here to back you up." Moto raised two fingers and effortlessly caught the dart midair. "That's not going to work on me." The head of the Ji clan arrived with his elite fighters. His eyes narrowed as he looked at Moto. "So, you're the one behind all this." He turned to Yi Tianming and placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "You've done enough. Let us handle the rest." Ji clan warriors attack. Moto's expression darkened. "Damn it, I knew the Lu clan was unreliable. They've completely exposed me." His eyes gleamed with fury. "So be it. I'll just kill every last one of you." In a blur of motion, Moto struck. The Ji clan warriors fell one after another before they even had a chance to fight back. Yi Tianming watched in horror. This guy, he's on a whole different level. Even the entire Ji clan can't stop him. Escape was no longer an option. As the battlefield turned into a massacre, Yi Tianming clenched his fists. Is history doomed to repeat itself? Will Cold Pool City fall all over again? Guilt weighed heavy on his chest. It's all my fault. I overestimated myself and changed nothing. But then a soft, cold hand gently touched his cheek. Krako looked into his eyes and whispered, "No, Tianming, this was never yours to carry alone. You came all this way, stood before me and Ye, and now you're fighting without hesitation. Just for us. That alone is more than anyone could have hoped for. How could we possibly let you fall?" She summoned the Hanhai Soul Crystal, her expression firm. "Remember what I taught you in the Inheritance Realm? The method to use this crystal? I've spent centuries protecting it, for this very moment." Her voice softened. "I'm sorry, Tianming. I may not be able to walk any farther with you, but if you can, please scatter me into the sea. Sister Yi is already there, waiting for me. I want to be with her forever." With that, Krako closed her eyes and began to sacrifice herself. At that moment, the G clan's patriarch lay bloodied and gravely wounded. The other disciples had all fallen, unconscious or dead. Moto slowly walked over to the fallen patriarch and sneered. "Oomph. So that's all the great G clan amounted to? Finally, these annoying insects are cleared out. No one can stop me now." Suddenly, a blinding burst of energy shot into the sky, drawing his attention. He paused, frowning. What the hell? Where is that power coming from? Yi Tianming gently laid Krako down. The Hanhai Soul Crystal in his hand had been fully activated, radiating a brilliant ocean blue light. Moto's eyes widened. So this is what a fully awakened Hanhai Soul Crystal looks like. Such pure oceanic energy. No wonder the higher-ups spent 100 years trying to get it. A twisted grin spread across his face. At last, the mission is nearly complete. And I got you to thank for it, boy. Don't worry. I'll repay you with my strongest attack. With a howl, he summoned a blood-red weapon and hurled it at Yi Tianming with deadly force. Boom! A thunderous explosion erupted as blood-colored light engulfed the battlefield. But Yi Tianming didn't budge. He unleashed the power of the Hanhai Soul Crystal, Aurora Veil. The crystal shield absorbed the blast and shattered Moto's weapon into pieces. Moto staggered back in disbelief. "No, impossible. You blocked it? But you're just a human. How are you using the Soul Crystal's power?" Yi Tianming stepped forward, each stride radiating deadly intent. His voice was ice cold. "From this day forward, whether it's you or the race hiding behind you, I, Yi Tianming, swear to wipe every last one of you off the face of this world." The power of the sea roared to life. Countless pillars of water surged forth and engulfed Moto, until nothing remained of the demon but scattered mist and silence. After the battle ended, Yi Tianming slowly walked over to where Krako lay motionless on the ground. With gentle hands, he placed her fingers onto the Hanhai Soul Crystal, sealing a silent promise that would never fade. Just then, a soft voice called out behind him. Shasha had arrived. "Tianming, you've done enough. Rest now." But Yi Tianming didn't answer. His body suddenly collapsed, completely spent. Luckily, Shasha caught him just in time. That very night, the Ji and Hu clans launched a swift and decisive purge. The remnants of the Liu and Wang clans were wiped out, and both families were permanently removed from the four great houses. From that day forward, the Assassin Alliance entered a new era, led by the Ji clan, with the Hu clan as its strongest support. But the price of victory was steep. Ji clan's patriarch, Ji Ba, was gravely wounded and would never walk again. The Hu clan's patriarch died on the battlefield. Both families lost most of their elite forces. Yet the alliance could not remain leaderless. After careful deliberation, the surviving elders unanimously elected a new grand leader. A few days later, Yi Tianming arrived at the Assassin Alliance headquarters. A maid greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome, sir. The grand leader has been waiting for you." As soon as Yi Tianming stepped into the room, Ji Huanyan rushed into his arms. "I'm sorry. These past few days have been overwhelming. I barely had a minute to breathe, let alone come see you. Honestly, I still can't believe it. How did a student like me end up as the grand leader of the alliance? Yi Tianming gently cupped her cheek and smiled. Obviously, because the elders saw your potential, my brilliant Huan Yin, with a wife this capable. Maybe it's time I live the easy life, huh? Blushing, Huan Yin grabbed his hand and changed the subject. The Assassin Alliance is now under Ji Clan's control. I've already gathered all the skill books from the former 4 great families into one vault. You're free to take whatever you want. Yi Tianming picked up one of the books and looked at her seriously. Thank you, Huan Yin, but are you sure you don't want to come with me? She shook her head, firm and resolute. Tianming, the Alliance is in shambles right now. They chose me to lead them, and I can't abandon my people. It's my duty now as their leader. Yi Tianming sighed softly. I understand. I have things I need to do too. Then let's make a promise, Huan Yin. Once I've done what I have to do, I'll come back to you, no matter what. Huan Yin smiled, eyes full of warmth. And I'll be here, waiting, always.